Would you like to see football wherever you are in the world?
With NordVPN, you can get premium protection online and set your location so you never miss a minute of the content you usually enjoy.
Go to nordvpn.com/TSUW to get 72% off a 2-year plan plus 3 additional months absolutely free.
Here we go again. Blades, we're back. It is an away day. I am trying to rack my brains of seeing any good game ever away at Middlesbrough. Only one that I can think of at the Riverside. It's often a difficult place for Sheffield United to travel. So first of all, my name is Hal. This is the Sheffield United way. We have a 7:45 p.m. kickoff, Middlesbrough versus Sheffield United. The referee for this encounter is James Linnington from Newport. He's issued 27 yellows this season, no reds. The last time he took charge of the Blades, it was a 4-1 win in 2018 against Aston Villa. But when you're talking stats, you don't want me doing stats. We have someone dedicated on the channel to just that, who will be joining me as �𝐚𝐲𝐞𝐝 celebrates his birthday today and is actually at the Riverside. Statsman Adam, welcome.
Good evening, Hal. Good evening, everyone. How are we doing today?
We are well. Good to have you joining us. So what do you know instantly to put you on the Statman spot about the referee?
James Linnington done a few Blades games. He was in charge of that famous game at Bramall Lane. Sheffield United 4, Fulham 5. What a game that's been in charge of. And like you said, a 4-1 win against Aston Villa as well. And, well, I think we're going to see cards tonight, Hal. He averages 4.3 yellow cards per game in his career, which is higher than any other referee from 2016 to 2021.
I've got to say, that does imply cards. I'm not going to say what I said ahead of the Derby game, which was there'd definitely be a red card. James hasn't issued a red so far this season. I mean, you know what that kind of makes me think. Do you expect this game? We did it with our predictor on Twitter. It appeared to be one of the goaliest games with all the score predictions coming up. 4-2s here, 3-2s there. Do you actually expect this game to be one where we see a lot of goals?
I do. I was talking to a work colleague of mine, a bit of office rivalry today with Kirk, a good friend of mine, a colleague of mine who is a Middlesbrough fan. So this season, only one of 2 people supporting a championship side. And he says Middlesbrough can't defend. But he has predicted a 2-0 Middlesbrough win, and he's very buoyant about their chances of reaching the playoffs. So fair play to him back in his team. He's wrong. But it's good to have that bit of office banter. I predicted a 4-0 win. That's what he stopped on for me on Twitter earlier today. But I think we'll nick this one by the odd goal in 3.
All right. Put your score predictions in the comments. Also, we're going to take a moment to thank all of our wonderful members, David Gill, Craig, Roney, Peter, you're absolutely fantastic, as is Blade Paul, there's Anthony, David, Lyndon, Stuart, great name, Christopher, the Jim Phipps, Stuart Taylor, Ron, Steve York, D Blow, not his real name, Lewis, and also as well, Jam Woody. Thank you for supporting the channel. If you'd like to do so, you can hit join when you're looking on YouTube, and it would be greatly appreciated. Right, let's take a quick look at the team for Sheffield United travelling to the Riverside today. We do have in goal Robin Olsen, then George Baldock at right back, Ender Stevens getting the start in place of Norrington Davis. Then it is Ben Davies, Egan, and in the middle, Norwood and John Fleck. Then those 3, we've got Morgan Gibbs-White, Iliman Ndiaye, Ben Osborne, the industrious Ben Osborne, and that man, undroppable Billy Sharp up top. On the subs bench, League One Wes, Basham, Norrington Davis, Howrahan, McGoldrick, Brewster, and Ollie McBurney, pal. So let's bring in Robert.
Hey.
Back. You're back from your holidays, Robert. How you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing well. It's good to be back home and not have to be like on a phone holding it out in front of me. Like, is the wind too loud? I don't know. Like waking up at 4:30 in the morning to catch a game. Just, it was fun. It was good, but yeah, it's good to be home.
First world problems. All right, so let's take another look at that team again. Robert, while you're with us, your thoughts on how strong that lineup is. No Sander Berge, we understand he's still struggling with a hamstring, but maybe other than him, it could be argued that's our strongest 11.
Yeah, and given the performances that we've seen from Enda Stevens. I think leaving him out last match for the fitness reasons was smart, but I think he's slightly better than Reece Norrington-Davies right now. Obviously, that front four that we've got is probably our most threatening front four when it comes to attacking. I think that there's definitely a spot for Sander Berge when he comes back, but at this point, this is our best side. The only potential mix-up I have is where do you put Hourhan for the set pieces? But it's just the set pieces. I think from open field, and especially after the last match, Norwood has shown that it's his spot and that he can keep playing there week in, week out.
Yeah. I like all of what you just said with your mouth. It went into my ears that are also hearing the sound of rain. Adam and I want to warn you in advance that the weather is absolutely atrocious today. It's already affected our Sky signal. It's already affected my internet. I just hope that we make it through the whole game with what is absolutely terrible forecast for the rest of the night. In a small way, I'm glad I'm not there. One of the main reasons I'm not there is I've got no petrol. Adam, what do you make of that lineup? And I'll also put the Middlesbrough team on the bottom while you share your thoughts.
Yeah, I think it's a really good lineup. Hourhan for the set pieces. I agree with Robert. He's trying to find a place in the team for him. But I have to say, I've been one who've not been the greatest fan of Ollie Norwood, but what a game he had on Saturday. Arguably the man of the match against Derby. And that's what competition for places does. It makes people step up. And I'm just looking at the likes of the players that aren't even can't even make the bench tonight. I know Berger's injured, but you've got Bogle can't make the bench. You've got Luke Freeman. McGoldrick's back today. But the list, the squad in depth, we've now got 24, 25 solid, good players who could come into this side and strength in depth. And it's really promising. Like I said on Fans React, the future is positive. We're on a roll. We need to keep it going. We can freshen up the legs if we need to. I personally would have kept Norrington-Davies in, and Stevens more than capable of coming into the side. He showed against Southampton. He's a good player. He can get forward. He's worked with John Egan a lot, so it'd be good to see Ender back in the side. Norrington-Davies maybe just dropped off a little bit, so it'll be interesting to see how it goes. But Ender knows that Norrington-Davies is there to step in. If he doesn't perform, there's people to come in, and that is a great position for Slavisa to be in.
Good problems to have. Right, the Middlesbrough team, Lumley in goal, Peltier, Bamba, Fry and Bowler, who's come back. That's your back four. Then it's a 2-3-1, same formation as United. Howson, the captain, and McNair, who's also come back in. Tavernier, Crooks, who had a red card overturned after getting sent off in their 1-0 defeat away at Reading. Duncan Watmore and Spura up front as the lone striker. So that is your Borough team. We'll just keep the Blades team rolling along the bottom. Neil Warnock's Middlesbrough, of course, they sit 18th on 9 points. The Blades 11th on 12 points. So a bit of disparity, really, but it sounds like they're miles of chasms apart even in the table, but it's just 3 points. Sheffield United striker Billy Sharp, you've heard of him, has faced Middlesbrough a number of times, 14 actually, during his senior career, but has only scored 3 goals against them. And we know he likes playing against Blackpool. We know he likes playing against Derby County. Doesn't like them. And one other stat I'll give you, 1 win in 10 games against Neil Warnock's sides. Adam, have you any idea of the last time we beat a Neil Warnock side, who it was?
It was in 1992 when he was at Notts County, I believe.
No, we've done it since then.
Have we? Have we beaten a Warnock side since then?
Yes, 2009, we beat Palace 2-0. If that one
there you go.
Is rolling back to your memory warehouse. Yeah, I had to put you on the spot a little bit there.
That's fine.
So, Robert, how excited are you when you look at all the problems that Sheffield United have? And it is a case of what Adam was saying there. Like, Norrington-Davies is pushing Ender Stevens. Ender Stevens has paid a lot of money, let's be honest. So really, I think when Slav would just, if he didn't know any of the players, if he just looked at the wage bill, he'd go, well, obviously that's supposed to be my first choice left back. And then you've got Max Lowe, who's actually performing, supposedly, we gather from Forest fans, quite well, might be recalled in January. If you want a left back that can't cross, Max Lowe is your man, because I don't know if you saw his goal. I mean, Robert, for those that didn't see the goal, can you talk us through it?
It was like, I mean, I saw it briefly once, but it was like something way outside of the box, way on the side of the pitch, and just like rocket into the goal. And no business like being a shot, but somehow it went in. It was crazy. And to think that's the Max Lowe that we had on our team last year. And again, we're playing against Premier League competition last year, but it's still like, if he had that at least twice last year, we might have stayed up. Like I'm just thinking, like, where was that? We could have used that kind of thing when Stevens was getting injured every other week. So, but yeah, it's good. Competition is good. We already see it paying off with Norwood and Howerhan. Fleck, I think, also being slightly threatened in the midfield because we know Howerhan can play on that left-hand side as well. So overall, I think this is pushing the players to be better. It's pushing the team. Obviously, we're more comfortable with the formation. We're in the tactic that Slab wants to play. But overall, it's way better to have competition. I can't stress that enough. I said it last year with Baldock and Bogle. It made both of them better. So,
absolutely, couldn't agree more with that. Now, Adam, you've actually put together a little quiz for today, which I think is it's a good idea. It's often something I do. And Robert, you can get involved in this as well. But the way we're going to do it is just pop your answers in the comments. And the very first one that Adam has come up with is actually a visual. So if you can see this on the screen, it is unfortunately tiny, but it's a case of, can you guess the player? So Adam, can you have a squint and read out some of the details for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So started his career at Middlesbrough 2002, 6 years at Middlesbrough in total with just 53 appearances. A few loan spells, QPR, Derby and Southampton. 2009, 8 games for the Blades before some more loan spells at Walsall, then back at Middlesbrough. A bit of success at Bradford, playing 26 games on loan before 84 appearances, scoring quite a few goals and ending his career with Hartlepool, although he did go to Dundee but not make a first-team appearance.
I'm squinting as well. So this is a defender.
It is.
I'm not going to say who it is. I'm not going to put Robert on the spot either. I'm going to give it 1 minute, Adam, and if no one gets it right in the comments, because it is a really difficult, I think I've got it, but actually, I think you know I've got it because I think you.
I do know you've got it.
Yeah, we had a chat about this, didn't we, when you first came up with it? Yeah, I actually got it really quickly. I actually got it before anyone's already got it in the comments. So if you've got any idea who that is, pop it in the comments. Your time is ticking. I'm going to wrap this up in just a moment because Adam's also come up with 3 more absolutely incredibly difficult quiz questions for today. He's made it far more difficult than I normally do. All right, your timer is ticking. Your timer is running out. Adam, who is it?
Andrew Davies.
It absolutely is, and we will reveal your face. There we are. I thought that was a tough one, although I did get it myself. This one, slightly easier. Go on, Adam.
Yeah, so the Blades last won at the Riverside 2-1 on our first actual visit to the ground in 1997. Who were the Blades scorers? 2 absolute Sheffield United legends, to give you a clue.
All right, again, it's a case of pop it in the comments. This was October 1997. The Blades won 2-1. Borough took the lead through Mikael Beck, but who got the Blades goals? And we have an instant early correct guess. Whitehouse and Brian Dean. Lee Booth, you are a legend. Okay, let's go to question 3, Adam, please.
So who scored a stunner in the 2-1 win over Middlesbrough in 2018? One of 2 goals he scored that night. Okay,
I remember this as well. And I could give a clue. Sweaty. And that's helped Graham with Lee Evans. Adam, is that right?
It is indeed. What a goal it was.
What a goal. Yes, of course, Jags, for some of you saying there, Mark, you're thinking a little earlier. What about this one? Last one.
Yeah, so the Blades last scored a goal at the Riverside. It was a penalty. It was January 2007, 6 games ago. But who scored that goal for the Blades in the Premier League that day? And a bit of a clue, it's not who you might think from the penalty spot.
Okay, I know this one.
You did. You got this one pretty quick, Hal, in fairness to you.
Yeah, it's all coming back to me. You asked me all of these on Facebook like a week ago. I've totally forgotten and I remembered. Yeah, so I also got this. But you're right, it isn't who you'd instantly think of. I will give you a clue. They are still playing professional football. And that man, Lewis Staley, the first to say, Adam, is 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝 correct?
Phil 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝 is correct. That's a great get. Well done.
That is a great quiz. Well done. Robert, before we let you go, do you want to give us your score prediction, buddy?
Oh gosh. I've gotten like all of these wrong so far this year. I've either underpredicted and we've scored a bunch, or I've overpredicted and we've scored nothing. So I'm gonna go smack dab in the middle, 2-1. The Housewife's prediction, is that what you called it, Hal, last year?
Yeah, I got a lot of grief for that, so thanks for bringing it back up. That was a translation from German,
okay.
But you know what? It doesn't sound good in 2021. So yeah, cheers, Robert. Glad I asked you that question. Buddy, please come back at half time and we'll get your thoughts on the first half. Thank you so much, Robert. Top man.
Cheers.
Now we're also going to look at some played for both. Of course, 𝐼𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐽𝐿𝐼 represented both Middlesbrough and Sheffield United. A wonderful goal return for the Blades. Also, Adam, your memories of Brian Christopher Dean?
Oh, Dino. Top man, Dino. Used to live next to Dino when he was in Doncaster, and famous photo 1989 against Brighton in a 5-4 win. I used to go to Brian Dean's football academy at the Doncaster Dome. An absolute, the greatest, my all-time hero, Sir Brian Dean.
Couldn't have put it better myself, so I didn't bother. Mo Besic scored that goal against Millwall, and will always be fondly remembered for that. I'm really surprised he hasn't found a club since leaving the Blades, going back to Everton, but not playing in their first team. And a current player that's played for both, 𝐼𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐽𝐿𝐼, my buddy. I say that, basically he watched a video that I did and his brother got in touch to say really enjoyed it. And I was on a 𝐼𝐴LGerian, as I call it, a YouTube channel, where I did a video about him as well. 250,000 subscribers checking that one out. So that was a bit big time. So who other players, Blades and Borough players, can you think of? Dean Windass is a good one. A not so good one, Marvin Johnson. Adam, can you think of any that played for Borough and the Blades?
Yeah, we've got Andrew Davis, as mentioned earlier, question 1 in the quiz. Famously made his debut in a Sheffield derby as well. Not many people have done that.
Bobby Davison did. Jamal Blackman, I'll give you Martin Craney. Barry Robson, throw that one out there.
Absolutely, Barry Robson.
That's a good one. Peter Beagrie. Have I stolen all the ones you were going to say?
Yeah, pretty much stolen most of my list.
Have you got any more before we move on?
Not off the top of my head, no, I haven't. You've covered most of them.
Worry not. Worry not. If you think of any more, pop them in the comments and help Adam out. So that was our player connections. Absolutely delighted to say that now I'm going to be sharing with you something that I was checking out a little earlier. Very, very exciting. This is the League of 72, the YouTube channel. I really want you to check them out. They create weekly EFL content covering the whole of the 72. We're talking from Bournemouth to Barrow. And if you haven't yet subscribed on YouTube, they're a newly launched channel by Sky Bet EFL. There are 2 absolutely brilliant Sheffield United related videos on the channel right now. An interview with Chris Wilder, which is its box office, it's must see. And a League of 72 Rewind, a 10-minute long season review of the 2018-19 promotion to the Premier League campaign. Wow. It got me pretty emotional, I'm not going to lie. Highlights, interviews, and celebrations from that memorable season. A personal favourite is, of course, Leeds away, a crunch game, and Basham arriving in that kit, a kit that is just synonymous with that season. To whet your appetite, here's a clip.
Cross-city rivals Wednesday again frustrated United as the teams played out another goalless draw before the Blades' progress was again put under the microscope with a trip to Elland Road.
The best football I've ever seen this football club play.
We're just flying at the minute.
It would be absolutely unbelievable to be in the Prem again.
Promotion's everything, isn't it, really?
We belong in the Premier League.
It's about living the dream of getting promoted.
There is a tasty prospect here at Elland Road. And Cooper in trouble potentially here, Billy Sharp. Basham's arriving, and he takes the chance this time! There by Fleck, a minimum of 5 added minutes. Sheffield United preparing another substitution, but Sharp, well, �𝐚𝐽𝐽𝐽𝐿𝐼 pressed the nuclear button, and he is dismissed. Remember, it was in the 11th minute of added time they scored against Borough and saved the point. Well, this is more than 3 points.
I mean, it's the hairs on the back of the neck still standing up, seeing that again. Wonderful to rewatch it. I watched this earlier, incredible. I watched the whole thing twice, and I'm not ashamed to say I got a tad emotional. It is superbly put together. Go and watch the full video when you can. Save it to your watch later. Like and subscribe to the League of 72. Also, when you're watching that video, do comment, tell other people about it, and let us know who you'd like to see on the League of 72 channel in the future as well. The link to that particular video is in this description. So right here, if you're watching on YouTube, it's in the description on this video. And as mentioned, there's also an hour-long sit-down interview with Chris Wilder on the channel where he talks exclusively about that promotion season as well as his departure from the club. That's the League of 72. Do search them out on YouTube and subscribe. Adam, did that make you a little bit emotional going back to those days?
Wow. Just brings back the memories. And as followers of this channel know myself, living in Leeds, it's just great to Basham arriving. It's just the moment. It just brings everything back. It's like a little shiver went through me then, just remembering that goal. And that was the defining goal. That's it. It's brilliant. Absolutely superb.
Couldn't have put it better myself. The words you took right out of my mouth, and I won't carry on the lyrics from that Meatloaf song, but do check out League of 72 on YouTube. Right, Adam, we are getting perilously close to kickoff. So let's have another look at the Blades team. As we get closer to this one, I thought it would be a good idea to just go through that for those that are just joining. We are facing Middlesbrough tonight. We have in goal Robin Olsen. What have been your early impressions as a former goalkeeper yourself, Adam, who played at possibly the lowest possible level? What are your thoughts on Robin Olsen?
He settled down. He had a bit of a shaky start. He was halfway on the south stand for the first goal against Preston. I think he was closer to Nick than he was to the goal. But no, he settled down, and he seems to have a bit of command now, which is pleasing to see. And he's shown his true class, what you'd expect from an international goalkeeper. And I feel a lot more confident with him in goal.
Well, I have to say, if you had if League One Wes and Robin Olsen were both called like Goalkeeper A and Goalkeeper B, and you didn't know their pedigree, actually, on the form of this season, I think Wes has probably done enough to have staked a claim, and certainly his save against Southampton, one of the best I've seen. I also want your thoughts on, I'm still a bit confused about this. I was at the game at home against Derby, and at the time, I didn't think Robin Olsen saved that shot that hit the post from Lawrence. I thought it was John Egan who got a touch on that, which deflected it. Have you seen it enough to know whether it was Olsen who got a touch on that?
No, it was Egan.
It was, wasn't it? Okay.
The goalkeeper didn't touch it. No,
I thought that.
Yeah, it's the slightest touch off Egan which took it onto the post. Olsen, I think, another half yard inside the post, he was beaten.
He was. His positioning actually left quite a lot of the goal open, and I was quite surprised at that. Yeah. So, okay, I'm going to be honest with you. Olsen at the moment hasn't, as you've said, he fills us the confidence. He hasn't filled me with confidence. I would say on form, Fodringham has done a little bit more. Call me crazy. Then we've got George Baldock, who's crossing. Sometimes is there, sometimes isn't. Let's see what he can do in this away game. It's apparently a very slick, greasy pitch tonight at the Riverside. Ender Stevens comes in for Reece Norrington-Davis. Then we've got Ben Davis, who I thought performed excellently. Are you more confident and comfortable with him at the back?
Yes. I think Egan and Davis, it's harsh on Chris Basham to be missing out on this side after everything he's done for us. But as part of a back four, Davis and Egan, with O'Connell's injury, they're most definitely your best two centre-backs.
Oliver Norwood, who we both said earlier, we thought played really well against Derby County. I was surprised when he was substituted, I've got to say. John Fleck, who didn't have his best game. I thought this might be a match for Halrahan. Then we've got Gibbs White, Iliman Ndiaye, and the industrious Ben Osborne. You know my thoughts on Ben Osborne. Are you part of my Ben Osborne fan club?
I am. He's found his place. He was in danger of becoming that utility man that would fill in anywhere but not make a position his own. But since the change to this formation and since 𝐍𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐻 has given the opportunity there, it feels like Ben Osborne has a home, and he's undoubtedly one of the first names on the team sheet every week.
Billy Sharp, would you say he's undroppable?
At the moment, Billy Sharp scores goals.
What about the fact that they're so, bring it back on the Kop. What about the fact that they're so physical, Middlesbrough, and we don't have a lot of height or physicality, certainly at the top end of the pitch? You know, you think about Ben Osborne and Billy Sharp and Morgan Gibbs-White, and Dye looks so slight. Would you not have thought this was perhaps a game for Ollie McBurney, pal?
Perhaps so. If it's not going our way, you can bring McBurney on, but I'd flip that round the other way and say they're big, they're physical, and we're more tricky and look to play our way through, and that could catch Middlesbrough unaware. So, and I'm always a firm believer, if it isn't broken, why fix it? Why make too many changes? Keep the momentum, keep it going, just the odd change here and there to freshen it up. I think 𝐿𝐚𝐽𝐽 has got this team spot on.
Yep, can't disagree with that. And if Sander Berge was fit, we'd have a different discussion about where he fits into this 11. Okay, the Borough team as well. I'm just going to have that scrolling along the bottom. Also, just want to remind you that we do have an audio podcast available. So do subscribe. Just type in Sheffield United Way wherever you get your audio podcasts. We've got a massive one dropping this week. I can't say who it's with yet. It's a big surprise. But you do want to be subscribed to that. Mark Patterson was the last one to be released, but there's quite a few good ones on there, including Dean Hammond, Christian Nade, Wayne Quinn, Nick Montgomery, and more. Also on YouTube, help us get to 15K for the best Sheffield United fan-created content from myself, Nick, and Adam. Subscribe to the Sheffield United Way YouTube channel. There is interviews with former and current players. Can't say more than that yet. Fans forums, and of course, what you're watching now, a watch-along. Subscribe. It is free, and it's not too long away, Adam. The 14th of October, the Football Content Awards. And vote. I'm getting pretty nervous because we've been nominated in 4 categories: Best in Video, Best Podcast, Best Club Content Creator, and Best Content Creator. Hopefully, Nick and I will be actually able to go in that London to the Royal Standard Hotel on Thursday, the 14th of October. It's a big old do. All your heavy hitters, your Skies, your BT Sports, your Mark Goldbridges, they're all going to be there. Your Arsenal fan TVs, AFTV as it's called now. So, hopefully we can actually bring something back for Sheffield United. Thanks to all of you that have voted. It's over to the judges now. But we'd really love to win that. It's the first time we've ever been put forward. It's definitely the first time we've ever got this far. So, fingers crossed. Now, last time out, Adam, that we actually faced Borough at Borough in a championship game, the 7th of August. It was a Tuesday night. It was also on TV, 2018. Can you remember what happened?
Yeah, Jack O'Connell scored a perfectly good goal, which was disallowed, and I was fuming for about 3 weeks after that was disallowed. Nothing wrong with it. We talk about being robbed in games. We were well and truly robbed. There was absolutely nothing wrong with that goal whatsoever. Appalling officiating.
Well, let's hope we don't see any of that tonight. After that, of course, it all got better. You mentioned officiating. We're getting set to kick off. The referee for this encounter is James Linnington from Newport, is it? So we'll see how he can get on. It's a 7:45 p.m. kickoff, which is 2 minutes away. The weather is atrocious for me in leafy Buckinghamshire. I can literally hear the rain hitting my roof with fingers, toes, and everything crossed that our satellite signal survives, because it's already for Adam and I gone down once, and that our internet survives as well. Also, I would like to take a quick moment before we kick off to remind you that this is brought to you today by Manscaped.com. So do check out Manscaped.com and use the promo code TSUW. They are our channel sponsors for this watch along, and thank you to them. TSUW, which Adam stands for?
The Chef United Way.
You get 20% off and free shipping. I've used it. Adam's used it. It's all going on down there. It's fantastic now. A gift for you or someone in your life that you know, a hairy fella, manscaped.com, promo code TSUW, 20% off and free shipping. If you want to support the channel, that's the way to do it. We would be incredibly grateful. You can also become a member as well. Just hit on the join option next to subscribe on YouTube. Now, the way this is going to work, if you've never watched a watch along before, first of all, shame on you. But secondly, it's a case of you watch it on the TV, you watch it online, and we provide your Bias Blades alternative commentary. All right? And you can pause and get level with us. I'll give regular time checks, and hopefully you do it once, you level right the way throughout. That is what we are aiming for today. Adam, you've already shared with us your thoughts pre-game on the lineup. Do you know anything about this current Middlesbrough team? I know we know Neil Warnock and Kevin Blackwell in the backroom stuff, but do you know anything about the current Borough side? Or is it a bit of a mystery?
Only talking to my friend at work today, and he said that the one to watch out for was Jones on the wing, who was going to create 2 goals for Middlesbrough tonight, and he's sub. So I have to take that as a positive. But I also have to say, Crooks, I saw his red card at Reading, and I have to say common sense did prevail, because that was certainly not a red card. And we need to watch the goalkeeper, because he should have scored, shouldn't he? If you saw that in the last minute, he didn't get a full head on it. If he puts that in, it's 1-1.
Yeah, he should have scored. 106th minute or whatever it was, added on time. Crooks, by the way, the player you're referencing that had his red card rescinded, he's their top scorer with just 2 goals.
Yeah, they don't score many, do they?
Goal shy.
But they are entertaining, I've been reliably informed. So hopefully we'll see goals. And for the team in black. For the team in black, of course.
For the team in black, we want to see goals. Entertaining. We're seeing at the moment on the screen Neil Warnock and 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝𝐚𝐷𝐿𝐼. Put a bit of a sh on that pronunciation. Having a bit of a giggle. Neil looks very relaxed. There's a possibility, of course, that Neil Warnock could be fired if Borough lose this game. That's certainly the talk on their forums. And that would be, in a way, a shame for him to go out having lost to the club that he loves in his last game. You'd think it would be his last game in professional football, but we'll wait and see. They're just taking the knee.
He said that for 14 years, though, hasn't he? Just one last job. Just one last job. I mean, Mrs. Warnock must be doing it up.
Right, when you see the kickoff symbol on here, that's when we have kicked off, and that means that's how you can work out if you are synced with Hal and Adam. We are here with you at the Riverside. We're in a variety of locations. We're watching the game. We're going to bring it to you. We're on 15 seconds if you want to try and sync up with us. I'll give regular time checks, but it has just kicked off with the Blades having an early throw, and we'll also update the screen here. You can see 0-0 if there are any goals. Let's see an early Blades attack and what they can make of this as the ball is crossed in from the right-hand side, but Lumley's going to come claim that fairly comfortably. Also, let us know in the comments where in the world you're watching us from. We love seeing that. You're all spread far and wide, and we appreciate you joining us. Now that's that ball played on the edge of the box. This is a good, positive early start from the Blades. Ender Stevens, who's come in for this one. Oh, it's a cross that's just been knocked down to the keeper. Almost accidentally, Adam, you'd say. That wasn't exactly as it was written.
No, it wasn't as planned, but Ender Stevens getting forward early. A nice little early ball in. Pulled it back towards the penalty spot. Probably could have gone to the 6-yard line. But it's been a positive start, keeping possession, looking to get forward. It looks like we're not going to sit back in this one. Looks like we're going to get forward and try and get on the front foot early, and hopefully get one up early on.
Yeah, you might have to take over commentary as my satellite signal decides, the weather is too terrible.
Oh dear, that's not good news. Well,
tell me you've got yours.
I've got mine, yes, I've still got mine. I've had a couple of flashes on screen, but I've still got it at the moment. So the Blades have it to throw into the Blades just on the edge of their own area at the moment. George Baldock just having a look round for someone to throw it to. But yeah, it's been a positive start from the Blades. It's good to see them get forward early. Doesn't look too many there at the Riverside, but it's always one of these big grounds that can look empty, and it can be deceptive on how many there are there. It's now a throw into Middlesbrough. Blades made a bit of a mess of that throw in at the moment.
Great to see people watching all over, including my own parents, Adam, who you'll want to give a shout out to, I'm sure.
Absolutely. Wearing the trusty cap, I hope.
I would hope Dad is wearing the trusty cap. I also hope they've got better weather than I have. I've just regained signal. I'm at 2 minutes 24, so tell me you're on the same time.
I am indeed.
Well, what could possibly go wrong?
And you've not missed much other than a George Baldock throw, which then turned into a throw for Middlesbrough. So missed absolutely nothing. I'm glad your signal's back so you can resume commentary.
Well, I got to say, why of all nights when there's a Blades game on, do we have to have such atrocious weather? I didn't care about it last night. I could miss an IPL game, but not a Sheffield United game, as we are on 2:48. The Blades having it in their own box, and you don't want that. I don't ever want to say that again. Heart in mouth stuff as it's played back to Robin Olsen, who does get a good clearance on that. He actually looks very comfortable with the ball at his feet, as you'd expect, of course, from international for Sweden. When was the last time, Adam, you can ever think of both Sheffield clubs having their number one for their nation?
Wow, good question. Very good question. Alan Kelly and Chris Woods, did they overlap?
Was Kelly number one for Republic of Ireland? Would you argue that?
He played internationally for them, so I'm going to claim it. I'm going to claim it. I'll just, I'll just say though, Bailey Peacock Farrell, what splendid! He's in pantomime season, wasn't he, at the weekend? It's behind you, absolutely brilliant. How to throw away 2 points? That was great.
I did love seeing that. I've watched it about 17 times. It was hilarious. Of course, we remember something not dissimilar, Richard Cresswell against Plymouth.
Indeed, absolutely. Why the defence didn't actually warn him? It was the fact that he'd held on to it for so long, and the defence just stood there. It was a comedy of errors. Was the blades go forward, and John Fleck has got it. He looked to burst into the box, but just checks back and finds Ben Osborne. A nice little bit of play as Fleck looks to get a ball in.
It's it.
It's come back, hit shot. Oh, it's a shot on target. Oh, and Billy Sharp. It was just spilled by the goalkeeper, but just probably a yard short of Billy Sharp getting on the end of that. And that would have been 1-0 had that come a yard further out. But this is a positive start from the Blades.
Yeah, keeper spilled that shot, and you thought maybe, as you say, it could have been the opening goal. Not a bad effort from 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐸𝐵𝐼. I'm saying it the way he says it, by the way. He says it very quickly. 𝐿𝐴𝐺𝐸𝐵𝐼. You've just got to try and get... What was that? No, it doesn't matter. Also, massive shout out to Helen, a tremendous supporter. Evening all. If the weather in Middlesbrough is anything like here in Newcastle, then there will be a lot of slipping and sliding. It's like that here in leafy Buckinghamshire as well. And with the leaves on the ground, it's particularly bad. As Bobby pointed out to me, he also lives in Bucks. He says he's in the leafier part of leafy Buckinghamshire. I'm not sure that's technically something you can prove. He's convinced. We travelled to the Derby game together. Bobby really enjoyed that one. Let's hope for... He's a bit of a good luck charm. Every Blades game Bobby's been to, it's been a win.
Hopefully he is.
Oh,
Bobby
here's Ben Osborne.
In the background, now in the foreground.
Now in the foreground, absolutely. That cross wasn't the worst, but it's easily dealt with, and Bowler can actually now bring it clear for Middlesbrough on 5:25. If you want to try and get level with us, you can pause your stream. You can pause Sky if we are slightly behind or ahead. You can even pause us if you're watching on Twitch. We're now available. If you're watching on Facebook, and it's very easy to do with a live stream on YouTube. So get level once, and hopefully you won't have to do it again. Thanks to each and every one of you letting us know where you are in the world. But here's a mistake at the back and a chance for Middlesbrough. Now that's the ball. Surely he's got the ball there. Referee's going to let that play on. Oh, that was one of those occasions where you thought the Blades were going to be the master of their own downfall, but somehow slightly get away with it. A bit comical, though, at the back. That was all unnecessary, Adam.
It was. A little bit of overconfidence from Davies, really, there. He just dilly-dallied on it, and then he tried to pass it to Norwood, and Crooks was in quickly. But he recovered well, took the ball 100%. Good to see him recover a sensible tackle in the conditions, going in with the feet low, ensuring there was no doubt of any ridiculous refereeing decision. A good recovery, atoned for his own error.
He did. Jay Spinks, anyone know why Sander Berge isn't in the squad? He's recovering from a hamstring injury picked up pre-match away at Hull. Also, question from Jack: weren't we supposed to see Bobby in the foreground in this stream? Nope. No, you've just made that up. He did the preview with us, but he was never going to join us for this. So we are sans Bobby. We are riding solo, Adam and I, for today. So if we miss any of your comments, it's not because we hate you. We don't hate anyone. Actually, I'm trying to think, Gareth Ainsworth. But other than that, we don't hate anyone. We want you to try and comment as often as you can. We'll do our best to keep up whilst bringing you what's going on in this game. Robin Olsen seeing far too much of this ball at his feet, Adam. You remember me saying earlier, I didn't want to have to say that he was kicking it out again, but he is. And Borough starting to turn the screw.
They're coming into the game a little bit now. So the Blades didn't really capitalise a lot of possession early on, but couldn't find any real clear-cut chances. And Middlesbrough playing it nicely through midfield, but... John Egan get that one clear, comfortable for John Egan. We seem quite happy to let them have possession 40 yards from our goal and then looking to press when it gets a bit closer. George Baldock blocks the cross coming in now. And now it's a chance for the Blades to get forward, but the ball doesn't quite reach Ben Osborne.
Not quite. Jack actually asking what we're watching the game on. Sky Sports Football is what we're watching it on in the UK. Also, Steve York with the Super Chat. Thank you so much. You're right, I did miss that. If you want to be part of the Super Chat, it would be incredibly appreciated. Steve York giving us £5 English, 𝐍𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐼 and 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐝, and that's a goal. A Middlesbrough striker on 8 minutes, and that has been coming. Duncan Watmore there. Adam, talk us through it.
It's just, how's he got that much time and space? The ball's just come in. He seems to have got time just to turn and fires the ball straight over Robin Olsen in goal. Poor defending. Just given too much time.
I didn't expect this. I did not see this coming from the start of the game. I thought this would be one where we would take the game to Borough. We initially started like that in the first few minutes, but here's that ball out on the left-hand side. We're seeing the replay now. Played in. Bowlers are looking at his options. Finds Watmore on the just the edge of the box. And it's one of those where you think, he's not going to shoot from there. And it's maybe the earliness of the shot which has deceived Robin Olsen. I don't think it even takes a deflection. It's just high and up from his early shot.
Yeah, it's not. No deflection. Over Olsen into the top corner. A good strike. Neil's happy. But yeah, George Ball just didn't close him down, and Ben Davies, not Andy Davis. Ben Davies was stood a couple of yards off him, and he's put it in the top corner.
Julie's asking, is that a good goal?
Well, defensively poor from United, but it's a good hit. But preventable.
Absolutely preventable. And the Blades, the good thing is they've got such a huge amount of time to come back into this game. We did our predictor on Twitter earlier, and people getting scores like 4-2 Blades, and that's what we obviously hope this kind of game turns into. But again, United not only giving possession away, Adam, but they're giving away a sloppy foul.
Yeah. And that's Ender Stevens giving away the free kick that occasion. But they're putting the ball forward into that zone sort of 30 yards out, and the Middlesbrough players got time to bring it down. And it's a yellow card for Stevens. It's card happy. Mr. Millington, card happy.
I know you said that.
That's that
could be a book in. I think that could easily be a book in there. And I think that, I'm not surprised.
Early on, a slight clip of the heels, taking into consideration the conditions. I think he considered himself a little bit unfortunate. Yes, I have seen yellow cards for that, but it wasn't cynical from Stevens. It was just he went for the ball, tapped his heels, so it was a polite little nudge. Disappointing that he's been booked for that.
I think taking into account the consideration of the weather is an important factor, because slippery it is, as Helen said, who is not too far away from this part of the world. We're going to have a hit from the edge of the box. Oh, it's not bad either. A really decent effort from one of their star men on the right-hand side, Tavernier, who can play right wing-back or right midfield. This one wasn't too far away, Adam.
No, it was sort of a couple of yards over and probably a yard just to the left of the post. Olsen looked to have that covered. He beat the 3-foot wall, probably one of the shortest walls I've seen in terms of height. I mean, Ben Osborne was not the shortest member of that wall, and that wasn't really much of a wall to put up, emphasising our lack of height.
Yeah, something we talked about before the game. We said this might be a match for Ollie McBurney. Also, if Borough can hold on here, Adam, and it's a long time to go, this is the kind of game where you'd think some Borough fans, and I saw this online earlier, actually want their side to lose because they want Neil Warnock out.
I just cannot understand that. Could never ever want my team to lose. Even in the Adrian Heath days and the Brian Robson days, I would never ever want to see a Sheffield United team lose.
I'm one of these people, I can't even bet against the Blades, even though people will say, well, if you win the bet, you won some money, and if you lose, you'll be happy because your team won. I don't even get involved in that. I just always want United to win.
Exactly. You've got to want your team to win no matter who's in charge.
As a throw into Sheffield United after a little bit of clever play from John Fleck, and it's on this left-hand side, around about 20 yards away from halfway. We're seeing a clip of the Borough fans there, all standing in this atrocious weather, as we're going to now give 𝐍𝐸𝐵𝐿𝐼 and 𝐸𝐸𝐷𝐼 a chance to spread that play out to Ben Osborne, back into our own half with John Fleck. Can United start getting something going? It's a very greasy service, as 𝐍𝐸𝐿𝐼 and 𝐸𝐸𝐷𝐼 does well. Not a player that likes to give the ball away. And he's fouled.
That's a foul, referee.
Oh, you could have waved play on there.
Booking for consistency. He's got to book him for consistency, and he has. So it's consistent. So he booked Ender Stevens, and he's booked him there for Middlesbrough. So that's consistent. Yeah, hands on, and again he's pulled him back, and you could argue that's a little harsh as well early on in the game. But Lee Peltier gets a yellow as well. So at least the referee's consistent, and looks like that 4.3 cards per game average is going to be increased if he carries on the way it is. 2 cards in the first 13 minutes.
His name is James Linnington. He's from Newport. He's issued 29 yellows this season, which is really quite something. And another one there, the 4th of the season for the former Owl, Lee Peltier. We have such a horrific run of results at the Riverside, better at Ayresome Park, but can it change with Oliver Norwood? And
no, Ollie.
That's a conversion.
That's nearly to our friend in Newcastle. It's that far over the bar.
Adam, you've been to Ayresome Park, haven't you, before to see United? I think, back in 95?
Yeah, we lost 1-0. A famous bit of commentary when the games were on Hallam FM back in the day. Peter Jenkins, who was the guy there, they had the unfortunately named 𝐍𝐸𝐽𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 at centre back, and he was sent off. So of course they cut to Peter, and he mentioned the 2 words live on the radio. The Blades losing 1-0, but with 𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸, let's say, dismissed, to put it politely, family show. And very famous. But the Riverside, I'm thinking of grounds where the atmosphere is lost. So you go from Ayresome Park, where they were on top of you, the noise, the feeling of intimidation. You were stuck in the corner on the side in the corner when I went to Ayresome Park, and you were fearful when they really got behind Middlesbrough. Going to the Riverside, it doesn't have that same feel. I think the only one I can think of is Upton Park to the Olympic Stadium, to sort of give a comparison from when the fans are on top of you to distance. And it's one of the downsides of nice new stadiums, but it's one of the downsides that you lose that on top of your feeling.
Absolutely. Here is Sheffield United trying to build something now as they break into the Middlesbrough half. We bang on 15 minutes. If you want to get level with us, Ender Stevens playing that ball on the left to John Fleck. It's a good ball in. It's defended fairly clumsily at the back initially by the Middlesbrough defender Bamba, and the ball rolls out just from McNair. Paddy McNair, who came back in for this one. You see Neil Warnock and Kevin Blackwell, of course, his assistant on that touchline, is throwing now just 10 yards or so on from halfway to Sheffield United. Right-hand side, fairly packed as we see that corner of the Riverside. Adam, quite right, the atmosphere has definitely lost something since their Ayresome Park days. And a ball back into the Blades' own half, looking like they're just trying to string the passes together now and go through a spell of possession, he says, as the ball is clumsily
given away,
guiltily given away in really poor fashion. But then so do Middlesbrough. They've decided that no one wants to keep hold of this ball, and John Egan will play the ball back to Robin Olsen, who's seeing far too much of it at his feet. Something I warned about early on in this game that I didn't want to see, as that ball is neatly played by Oliver Norwood. No need for the ping. It's a short, simple pass to John Fleck. He'll find Ender Stevens, and it's like the old days now with the Blades linking up to Ben Osborne on this left-hand side. Keeps the ball in. It was slightly overplayed. We're on 16-10 as Billy Sharp's had to come deep to actually see some of the ball. Let's get some bodies in the box. Billy's going to do that. I think Ben Osborne felt like he's running out of ideas here. He couldn't get to the byline. He's had to check inside. And Ender Stevens will give it back to Ben Osborne. Fleck, United, Adam, starting to build something here, you feel?
They are. They're just waiting for the right pass, looking to ball through. It's a chance for Stevens to get the ball in now. It's played back. Come to Billy Sharp. Oh, Billy, no, not a good choice from Billy. I think he'd have liked to have turned to try and get a shot on target. He just tried to drop it back to Ben Osborne, but the Blades still have possession with a throw-in. Ender Stevens going to take this throw in. He's just looking for options. Ben Osborne making a little dart forward, but tracked. He has found Osborne now. And that's a good-looking ball from Stevens.
Surely.
Was that a foul? Was that a foul?
Referee is not interested. The Blades having all the possession, 73% possession so far in this one, but it's the chances that we've really been lacking. Now, Iliman Ndiaye is going to track back at something he likes to do, which might be one of the reasons he gets cramp. He does track back. He wins that ball, but Duncan Watmore can then pick it up on this left-hand side for Middlesbrough. We're approaching the 19th minute. We're on 17:23, so we're in the 18th minute. That's how it works. Tried to explain that to my 6-year-old nephew. Found that very confusing. As that ball is played back to Robin Olsen, again onto his feet. No, he's going to pick that up. I thought that could have been a back pass, but clearly...
It's deflection back.
Olsen was comfortable. That was a deflection. You're absolutely right, Adam. And, United are seeing all of this ball, but then we have, in pretty much every game this season, we've had more of the possession.
We have, and we actually topped the stats. We have the highest average possession in the league this season, just shy of 64% before tonight. And if we're already at 70%, then that's going to be increasing further. It's just getting end product and looking at that. As Ben Osborne gets in behind,
go on.
It needs Billy Sharp to get forward. It's checked back. He's going to go himself. No.
He's going to give it to Ndai. He's going to bring it back and cross to no one.
Oh, it's the wrong choice.
Bamba can clear, and Ndai passed to absolutely no one in the box there. And surely that's a handball by the Middlesbrough midfielder, and that's a good challenge. Getting back by Ender Stevens, but it's still going to run free. And Watmore's got pace to burn here. And there is a man over. Borough breaking dangerously, and that's wonderful recovery work there, Adam. You love to see that. Oliver Norwood having another good game. And I've got to say, if you want, by the way, to watch this game with SUTV, for example, you could get NordVPN. We've got the details running below, and change your location. So you're outside the UK. I'm just saying, you could do that. Those are the details. NordVPN.com/TSUW. 72% off. Wow. All right, here's Borough on this right-hand side with a chance to cross that ball deep. That's clearly offside. He's going to leave it anyway, and it'll roll out. Bang on 19 for still Middlesbrough 1. Blades 0. What about that as a spell of possession, Adam? But you felt like United just didn't capitalise.
Yeah, it's the final third. It was Ben Osborne who he initially looked for Billy Sharp, but Billy was about 5 yards behind the play, having just come out to try and win the ball earlier. So Ben Osborne didn't have that early ball in. He checked back. He looked like he was going to have a shot on goal himself. Potentially, if it had been on his left foot, he would have had a go. Didn't look confident on the right. Tried to find Ilman Ndai, and it just fizzled out, and Ndai picked the wrong ball in trying to square it. It was just perhaps someone in the conditions, just have a go, see what happens. Osborne could have hit that even left-footed across the goalkeeper, look for a deflection, Billy following in, see what happens. But yeah, chance wasted.
Chance wasted as that ball is played high up, and it'll just get headed back comfortably again to the feet of Robin Olsen. He's seeing so much more of this ball than he has in previous games. He's been a bit of a bystander in that Derby County match at home. Only had sort of 2 saves to make, and I felt looked comfortable with one and less comfortable with the other. Didn't really make a save at the end. That was a deflection from John Egan, which took it onto the post. Here's Iliman Ndai, who's going to turn and find his man, which George Baldock then had an opportunity to try and get Morgan Gibbs-White in, and he's given that ball away. And Borough now are going to break into the Blades half with Tavernier, always looking dangerous, this lad. Not someone I want to see as much of the ball as he has been. And he can get it onto his right foot. He's being jockeyed, he's being pushed back, and Ben Osborne says, you know what? I will get this. Ender Stevens was jockeying, and Ben Osborne finally put the boot in and got the ball comfortably and cleanly. And with left foot to left foot, here is John Fleck, who now can try and get things motoring for Sheffield United. Morgan Gibbs-White has seen so little of the ball, he's had to come to the left-hand side because that's where all the play has been for the Blades. But Ben Osborne's out there, so Morgan Gibbs-White will switch again. And I think Morgan Gibbs-White might start operating in a more midfield central position because nothing's happening on that right-hand side, Adam.
Yeah, he's seeking the ball out. He's a player who wants the ball, which is good to see. And he's looks like trying to play those quick passes, but hopefully frustration doesn't set in. Of course, had a dream start to his Blades career, 2 goals in his first 2 games. Perhaps gone off the boil a little bit in the last couple of games. Not quite been up to his 9 out of 10 standards, but we can't expect him to do that every week. So
21-30. Blades have a throw-in on this right-hand side, right next to the technical area where 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐿𝐚𝐷𝐿𝐴novic patrols and marshals in a suit which is going to be soaking as the Blades will work that ball into Borough's half. Ben Osborne again seeing so much of this and deciding not to take his man on, but laying it back, and that's a lovely flick. Touch. Oh, it's a great touch from John Fleck. And here are the Blades.
Out wide.
I think they're going to go through the middle, aren't they? And here's Ben Osborne on this left. Finally gets that ball out wide. Billy Sharp's taken up a position with his right foot. Can he get a shot away? He does, but it's tame.
No, it is. It is. The ball was out wide to the right-hand side early. They tried to go through the middle, but there's acres space on the right wing. That would have been the ball for me. Absolutely acres. He's on his own. Absolutely on his own. Just looking back at the replay there, he had the freedom of the right-hand side of the Riverside Stadium there too. Yeah, George Baldock it was. It could have played him in. But Billy, he checked inside. It kind of opened up a bit more than what I thought it would.
I agree. Yeah, Gaz makes a great point. Absolutely right. Yeah, I think sometimes when you do drill a ball across the box, things will happen. It could take a deflection. Anyone can get a touch in it. You just never know. Billy was going to be doing something quite special to score like that. Oh, it's a terrible pass from John Fleck. It's given the ball straight to Tavernier, who's got 2 men ahead of him, and he's going to go himself. And it's a decent effort. I tell you what, Robin Olsen looked like he had that covered, but that was really, really poor passing from the Blades. And that's something we've been good at this season, but no need to give the ball away like that.
Yeah, Stevens played it to Fleck, and Fleck played it behind Ben Osborne. He looked for the early pass to Osborne, and it's 3 yards behind him, and Ben Osborne just checked back and slipped. Tavernier came forward, hit a shot, which was a good 2 or 3 yards wide in the end, but it's not a player you want to be allowing to shoot from the edge of the area, because very good from that sort of range.
Absolutely. Why, though, again, we're playing the ball back to Robin Olsen. I'm not sure how comfortable he is with the ball at his feet. Well, we got our answer there as he's kicked the ball straight into touch. And for me, it's too easy. Blades have got to keep possession far better than that. Neil Warnock, for some reason, never heard this sentence before, angry with officials.
Yeah, he's probably a raindrop falling on him or something. Neil likes to complain. It'd be the weather's fault. It'd be someone else's fault. He did so well at the weekend as well. I saw his interview after the red card, and he was trying so hard not to get an invite down to the FA. Where he's a regular. He's got a season ticket, and he was doing so well until the last sentence when he then did lay into the referee. I mean, he wears his heart on his sleeve. You know what you get with Neil. Not always correct in what he says, but as a passionate manager, you can't fault him. And to keep going at 72 years of age, I believe he is now. Fair play to him, and when he retires, I wish him all the best in his retirement, but I don't think he's going to give up anytime soon.
You're not missing anything as the ball is out of play. It's going to be a throw into Middlesbrough on this left-hand side. 24:36 is the time if you want to get level with us. Once you're level, hopefully you're sorted throughout the entirety of the game. 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝𝐚𝐷𝐿 getting a new piece of gum as he just patrols that touchline. Captain Billy Sharp in focus at the moment. 3 goals. He's had in total 6 goals and assists. He's been the man. Undroppable, many would say. But so far in this game, he's had to move around the pitch. He's been on the left, he's been on the right, and briefly through the middle, we're seeing David McGoldrick on the bench for this one, back from a long injury. It's interesting hearing 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐚𝐷𝐿 try and pronounce David McGoldrick. It's not a name I think he's particularly fond of. And here's the Blades trying to come forward with some promise. And Ben Osborne will play that ball after Davis came through strong, looking for options with Ender Stevens. Good to see Ender back in after Reece Norrington Davis had a good start to the season, perhaps just defensively has dropped off slightly in the last couple of games.
Yeah, no, I'd agree with that. But you kind of should just go with 𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸. It's nice and easy. I read that Neil Warnock said, I'm going to call him Slav because I can't pronounce his name.
It's
so
always
he's going to greet him
isn't it?
He's going to greet him as Slav. So, yeah, but no, just go with 𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸. Keep it nice and simple. But no, it's good to see 𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸 back, and it could be a game for him later on.
It could be. Here's Ender Stevens on the edge of the box. Can he make something happen so that 𝐷𝐸𝐷𝐸 doesn't need to be brought back in? And a chance for Ender to move out on that left-hand side. But Ben Osborne with his right foot will try and get a crossing. And again, Bamba clears. It's something I think we're going to be saying quite regularly because the balls haven't beaten Bamba. And it seems like sometimes he's playing as a lone defender. He's just repelling everything individually. Billy will try and do a bit of hold-up play, getting it down to John Fleck. Again, it's out on this left-hand side. Everything has come on the left for the Blades today. Ender Stevens looking to get that ball into Morgan Gibbs-White, who's given up on the right-hand side. He said, no, I'm not seeing any of it there, so I'll come and play where everyone else is on the left. And he plays that neat ball in, gets a shot away, and it's blocked. Not a particularly ambitious effort. I think he did the right thing, but Borough read it. And here's a chance for Middlesbrough to try and clear, but instead they play the ball back. And 𝐼𝐚𝐷𝐿 could have taken that, but Tavernier was reading it so well and quick to clear down this right-hand side with Crooks. And that ball has just broken up, and Borough have a throw-in on the right, 20 yards or so away from halfway. And their striker, Sporar, who's playing up top today with Duncan Watmore, has decided, I won't say this, I'll leave it to the danger man, Tavernier.
Yeah, it's interesting. It's all coming down Osborne's side, and when Baldock did have an opportunity to pass out to Baldock, they opted not to. But it'd be interesting if, like in the first minute, Ender Stevens can get up and beyond Ben Osborne, and he can slip Ender Stevens in to get the cross, because at the moment they're shepherding Osborne well, and they forced him to check him on his right foot, and it's clear that Ben's right foot is nowhere near the standard of his left.
Absolutely. Now, some in the discussion suggesting that a point is good enough tonight with Bournemouth to come. I think the Blades might need to win this one, particularly looking at the form of Middlesbrough. We heard from their fans that they're goal shy. We've heard from their fans that they concede for fun. I got a tweet earlier from a Borough fan saying, congratulations on your win before we even kicked off. This is a fan base that are demoralised and are not expecting anything tonight. And at the moment, they've got a 1-0 lead, which they are delighted with. The worst thing for this game was Borough scoring if you're a neutral, because we were already on the ascendancy. And here's a chance with 𝐼𝐺𝐸𝐻𝐻 taking a brilliant touchdown, gets a shot away, hits the post.
Oh, it's off the post. Oh. Wow. That was, yes, a real good opportunity. Took that well. I think you'll know what I say here when that was almost Duffy-esque from Hillsborough. I know he didn't check back for the final check, but it was almost of that sort of in that channel, cutting back, and he went for the right foot shot and he just hit the outside of the post. It was kind of one of those that hit the post, but it was never really going in. If you know what
I do know what you mean. Robert asking, is it true that Simon Moore, Billy's best friend, is playing lights out at High Flying Coventry? Adam, have you been following any of him?
I have, and I've seen on Twitter a lot of Coventry fans singing Simon Moore's praises. In fact, I commented on a post by a Coventry fan last week saying that Simon's a great bloke, and he was unlucky to miss out at Bramall Lane. Didn't really do much wrong.
Could have saved a fortune.
No, wish him all the best, and he's a solid Championship goalkeeper, and I'm pleased to see him do well. And that ball's just crossed in, and it's just too long. Billy's out wide again, though. This is a bit concerning, but he's looking a frustrated man, Billy. Not a wound-up man like he was against Derby, a frustrated man. And you don't want a frustrated Billy Sharp. You want a wound-up Billy Sharp looking to score, and he's almost like saying, I'm having to come and get the ball here. What's going on? As we see that gives White a chance to get. It's a great turn, a great touch to get in.
Is this a case now, Adam, where we should be seeing two up top because we're having so much possession, but if Billy's having to drop out wide, he could do with a McBurney, a Brewster, a Didsey, someone, a focal point?
Yeah, potentially. Not just yet. I think give it to half-time, but it may be one of those games where he does need to tweak away from the formation, play the game on its merit, and it is crying out for another striker.
Yeah, it could well be. And maybe we'll see a formation change when you think that United have 6 strikers on the books, sometimes maybe more, depending on some of the players in the youth team. It is interesting that we're now going with this one up top formation. Got to say, it's been an interesting performance since going a goal down. In terms of possession, it's been almost all United, but I always feel the way that we're playing, Borough will be quite happy to soak up this pressure, and they could hit us on the break again.
That's what they're looking to do. They've just been stronger in the middle of the park. I mean, they've got the clear height difference, and we haven't really won a ball in midfield. The best challenge in midfield came from Ollie Norwood, but other than that, we are, I say, low on height and low on a little bit of strength in the middle of the park, and they seem to be winning more of the 50-50 balls in midfield, as that's deflected behind for a Middlesbrough corner.
Yeah, it's Middlesbrough pressure that we were just saying was a bit of a concern. Would they be a team that was just happy to soak this up, knowing that United are looking a bit impotent in attack, and then try and get on the break? They've got another corner. They're big. They've got height, and they've got good set-piece delivery. The Blades have already shown, I think back to that horror show at West Brom, that defensive frailty, particularly from balls in the box, aerially. And that could be throw-ins, or it could be set-piece like a corner or a free kick. And here we have a corner on this left-hand side for Middlesbrough. I'm nervous. Adam's nervous. Paddy McNair, former defender, is going to take it. And it's not bad. It's a free header.
It's a free header.
That
should
got
score.
to be.
Crooks should score.
Got to be 2-0. It was Matt Crooks, the top scorer for Middlesbrough, and he's been given the freedom of the Riverside, and it's John Egan who completely loses him. And I think that was a foul given before that, which is why John Egan stopped. The free kick given, and all is well that ends well. 32, bang on the nose. If you want to keep level with us, it is still 1-0 to the Borough. Amazing that whistle blew. Crooks still missed. That simplest header.
Exactly. He didn't know that the whistle was going there, and he still put that in. But it was a push. I think it was a push on Davies, wasn't it? We're certainly on the ground.
Absolutely, yeah, I agree with that. And referee did well to spot it. He's actually done all right, the ref, apart from I think 2 sort of soft yellows. But like you said, he's consistent.
He is.
But he's card happy, you know. He's several months ahead of Christmas, but he's very card happy. This game, by the way, is on Sky Sports Football. If you want to get level with us, we're on 32:44. You can pause us. You can also pause your TV or perhaps even your online stream if that's the way you're choosing to watch for your alternative biased Blades commentary. But we also welcome Borough fans in the chat as well. And Nick has just messaged me to say, with Super Chats, Adam, he wants us to try and raise £200 for the channel. We've so far raised £5. So if you would like to be involved in the Super Chat, all of that goes back into the channel, helping us with basically our running costs. If you had any idea how much the audio podcast alone costs each month, and that's all my end, that would be incredible. I haven't made enough in this stream to cover a day of that. So anything is gratefully received. Now here's the Blades trying to push forward as we approach that sort of marker where you start to look and say, what are we going to do at half time? Ben Osborne, for some reason, finds himself on the right-hand side. Yeah, Adam was saying only a few moments ago, his right foot is just for standing on it. This is chocolate foot. John Fleck, can he take a good touch? No. You know what? I thought that ball was played in too hard to John Fleck.
It was.
But it was played on his left. I think he should have done better there.
Yeah, he was just a little bit too in front of him, and he just stretched to reach the ball, and it just kicked it out for a goal kick. It was just that yard in front of him. But yeah, Ben Osborne showing on screen there 29 successful passes and Ender Stevens 24, most of them to each other tonight. If we're being honest. But passes don't win it. It's the key passes that matter. It is the key passes.
Yeah, if you're just joining us.
Send Nick a birthday gift, a happy birthday message with a super chat.
He'd love that.
Let us hit our target so we can gloat again.
Yeah, well, we didn't hit our target last time.
No,
Adam.
we didn't.
No. we got
any currency accepted. Any currency.
Oh, here's Borough on the charge. A chance to make it 2. This could be the killer blow. Oh, it's a poor ball played in, but they're going to get a break here, and then it's going to be brilliantly defended after 2 ricochets from George Bulldog. And Adam, that was big problems.
Worrying. That was too easy going through. Again, a 50-50 ball. Osborne lost out to the bigger man in the middle of the park. They're suddenly bursting at us at pace. Ball played in, a half block from Davis, and George Baldock covered splendidly and put that one out for a throw-in.
Calamity, though, at some of that defending at the back. I've got to say, we just look like we could be carved open far too easily. You can get the QE2 through the gaps that some of our defenders are leaving.
But it is only one, and that may be positive. If you're a Middlesbrough fan now and knowing that how goal shy they are, you'd be concerned that they've only, they could have had a couple. Maybe even
they could have had a couple, but they're a poor side. And Altringham's finest, Duncan Watmore, takes that ball right in the face. It was Ender Stevens looking to make that clearance just by his own corner flag.
Off his own knee into his face.
Watmore then deflects it from his knee straight onto his own bonds. And he'll have felt that one. It's not a day, actually, where you'd like to take a soggy, wet, heavy ball to the nose.
No, absolutely not. Be nice to get one before the break. I think if we can go into the break 1-1, that would be a good confidence boost for the Blades. Probably on the balance of play, Middlesbrough had the better chances, and I've probably just edged the better chances. We're dominating possession, but we need to do more with it. As yet again, we lose the ball in midfield.
Yeah, and Ndiaye there with that defender right on him as soon as he got it. I'm not blaming Ndiaye at all. Perhaps if he'd been on his heels, maybe he'd have seen that one coming. Gibbs White getting back and doing a bit of defending, but again, it's not quite landed where United would have hoped. And it's Bowler who's laid that ball back to Fry as Bamba has the furthest forward we've seen Bamba all day. He's just been almost like he stood on the 6-yard box all night, just repelling everything. Howson, the captain, he can come forward, a player I've always admired, and Bowler will try and get that ball in. It's taken a little deflection, but it's actually going to fall quite comfortably here. Sporar, brilliantly laid back. Borough can get a shot away. It's 2. It's Paddy McNair from the edge of the box. He makes it 2-0. It's absolute disaster. I thought, Adam, this was a real test of how far we've come under 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝𝐚𝐽𝐞𝐝. I actually was kind of hoping Bournemouth would be that real test, but this is just looking woeful. Blades 2-0 down.
And it's just defensively poor. I mean, it's a ricochet that goes in. It's put back. Ben Osborne doesn't get there, but there's nobody on him. He's 20 yards out. Ben Osborne has come to try and pick up the loose ball, but he's stood on his own. I mean, looking at that angle there is nobody on him. And he's hit it well, but I mean, he should be closed down. He should not be able to run onto a ball 20 yards out like that and pick his spot, which he's done.
Any blame attached to the keeper? You're a former keeper yourself. I'm instantly going to jump in and say no, but what are your thoughts?
No, you can't blame the goalkeeper for that. It's in the corner. I mean, it's one of those. He's hit it cleanly in the corner. It could have took deflections, whatever. But no, I mean, you can't blame the goalkeeper for it. But they're just not alert. It's like, as I keep saying, in midfield, the 50-50 balls, they're losing 80% of them. And that is what's costing us. And they had a warning, 2 warnings similar, only 5 minutes ago, and it's disaster. It's 2-0 down. This is a real rescue act for the Blades now.
It is. You take a draw now. I felt like the next goal was always going to be key. It's another game on Sky, Adam.
It is, but I just, it's disappointing. It's came in tonight full of optimism, full of positivity. No, it's very, very, very disappointing that. They need something back. I was saying a moment ago that let's try and get 1-1 for a confidence boost to have any hope of getting anything out of this game. In a ground where we've not scored on our last 5 visits, we need something back before half-time. But again, we're messing about in midfield. Borough looking hungry. Fleck did well to keep possession there. But it's now we need to look to get the ball forward. I don't think Billy Sharp's had a touch for 10 minutes. Norwood finds him early. They're just too strong. They're just too strong. It's not sticking. The endeavour's there, but we're just not finding the final third. We're not testing the goalkeeper, and it's now a Middlesbrough throw on the edge of their own 18-yard line. It's just fizzling out.
It is fizzling out. We're on 39-30. The Blades 2-0 down. At the moment, it's looking like United, if they can score before half-time, would have half a chance. Otherwise, they're going in and it's completely trying to salvage something from this. The Blades way. Why is Crooks not suspended? It was overturned, is read against Reading, and a correct decision as well. As Middlesbrough try and get that ball on their right-hand side to break, but it's overcooked. Tavernier will watch it go out, and United with Ender Stevens will have a throw-in pretty much around halfway. There is a reddened-faced, soaking Neil Warnock on the sidelines. I say soaking. It might be worse, the rain here, actually. It's not looking too bad now. I know it was definitely fairly heavy in Middlesbrough earlier today, and that's definitely affected the pitch. We've seen a couple of slips early on, but nothing to do with the 2 goals. The Blades have just been poor at the back, and that ball looking for Billy Sharp, but there's no way he's going to get onto that. That's just poorly played on that right-hand side. And Billy looks forlorn from the ecstasy of Saturday to the agony of Tuesday.
Yeah, it needs changes now. It needs changes at half-time. 5 minutes to get through to the break. No further damage. Try and get one if we can, but I think it needs changes. It needs some strength. Ollie McBurney-Pal definitely coming on at half-time for me. I'd even consider David McGoldrick coming on. A change in formation needed. Yeah. Do you rest Billy now for? I mean, he scores goals. We know he scores goals. Do you take Billy off? Do you hope he?
Well, Didsey and Billy, that's been the 2 that have worked.
It has, but I think Ollie McBurney's got to come on for some strength. They need some strength, and could we see Chris Basham come on in midfield?
It's too weak there from Ndiaye, but he tries to win it back. You'll notice something with Ndiaye. Every time he loses the ball, he tracks it and tries to win it back, but that wasn't strong enough. And we are seeing sometimes a case of the Blades just being bullied. Morgan Gibbs-White said, I'm not going to be bullied. He takes that ball away from Bowler and then shows a bit of skill. That's really lovely play. Crooks had absolutely no answer to that. And we're on 41-32 with John Fleck taking that ball into the centre circle. Can the Blades now get into Borough's half? They can. Iliman Ndiaye, let's see if he's got some tricks about him. He does. He checks back and McNair won't go with him instead. And Ndiaye will try and carry on his run. It's slightly checked by Howson, and that's a ball played in on that right-hand side. Oh, it's going to take a little deflection to launch itself out for a corner. And the Blades will have, on this right-hand side, through George Baldock's industrious work, a corner before half-time. 3 minutes still to go. Can United make it 2-1? Now, we don't have Harahan on the pitch. If we did, I'd feel a little bit more confident, but maybe we could just get one from here. There's a lot of big boys in the box for Borough, but who knows? Who knows? That's why we love football.
Now, it looks like it's Fleck going to be taking the corner, in-swinging corner from Fleck, I think, coming in here.
Hey, he's taken them good corners before, of course, against Ipswich when O'Connell scored, but we don't have O'Connell today. Instead, we've got that man at the back, John Egan, and it is Egan who he aims for. He tries to put it back across, And I think he even felt he was fouled there by Bamba. He's certainly appealing to the referee. What do you think of this, Adam?
Nah, nothing.
Nothing in that.
I think he just headed the ball back in a good area, and he just fell back on himself there. I think he was just caught by the Middlesbrough player going down. I think it was just a friendly. Yeah, all right, mate, that was an accident. Let's carry on.
I agree. It's a throw in now on this left-hand side, around about 15 yards away from the corner flag, and it's Ender Stevens who takes it to 𝐿𝐼𝐚𝐼𝐷𝐼. He's just going to use it on the edge of the box to find Oliver Norwood, who hasn't really given the ball away once today. And here's 𝐼𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐜𝐝, looking lively, showing a bit of skill early on. 𝐿𝐼𝐚𝐼𝐷𝐼 having arguably the Blades' best chance early on, but nothing really looking comfortable for United in terms of attacking, and certainly looking comfortable Middlesbrough with their 2-0 lead. Fry watches that one as it's played in between two defenders. This is lovely football from the Blades, and that final pass, it was the wrong ball, Gromit, and it's not cleared correctly by Middlesbrough. Ender Stevens now on this left-hand side. Can he get a ball in? It's, again, not beating the first man. Chance for Tavernier, just really comfortable Tavernier clearing that. Could have been a foul there by Oliver Norwood. Referee's going to let play continue. Sporar brings it over halfway. It's now 4 on 4. He should have given a foul because now United are tracking back and they've used up all their energy because it's bodies that all attack together, and equally for Borough, they'll just be delighted. Their game plan is being utilised and perfected to a T. Soak up pressure, hit United on the break. Soak up pressure, hit United on the break. They've done it. It's worked. It's the Neil Warnock way.
It is. I think that crossing from Stevens, though, and he said he didn't beat the first man. I think that John Fleck tried to let it go. It was fired in towards Fleck, and I think he tried to step over, hoping to fool the Middlesbrough defender, and Middlesbrough defender stood his ground and hit him and was easily cleared.
Yeah, no defender should think, I'm not going to clear this just in case. You'd always clear it. So it was always the wrong decision for what Fleck did there. In the box, I think, to try and do something fancy when we're 2-0 down, just should have got a foot on it.
John Fleck of old would have hit that.
He'd have smashed it. John Fleck on full confidence. I don't disagree. But yeah, leaving it? Nah, not the right call. Borough fans in the chat, we welcome you along as well. Your team, many said before when we started this stream, they wanted Middlesbrough to lose because they want Neil Warnock out. And what a way it would have been for Neil Warnock to end his career if he was sacked after losing to his boyhood club. Doesn't look like that's going to be the story. Headline writer's dream as we approach halftime. There's 3 minutes added on in this one, Adam.
Yeah, so Neil Warnock's career is going to end having to blow in a 2-0 lead against his former club to lose 4-2 in their own backyard. No,
I'd love to see that. No. United don't look like scoring 4 unless we're playing.
No, we don't.
Peterborough.
I'm just trying to be positive. I will give the ball away in midfield just for a change.
Or Borough then give it away, but then we can't read it. And you know what? I didn't think of Paddy McNair and Johnny Howson as being the two that were going to be the most skillful midfielders to actually take the ball away from United. But actually, those two have played superbly and marshalled that defence really nicely. Robin Olsen's seen far too much of that ball on his feet. I'm going to get sick of saying it. I said it in the first minute. I didn't want the ball constantly played back to him, so he has to kick it long because that's no good. Just kicking it long is pretty much a simple way of giving possession back to the opposition. And as has been proven the case right now, as Tavernier on that right-hand side can try and launch another Borough attack. One of few, but every time Borough have attacked, they've looked menacing, they've looked dangerous, and they've looked purposeful.
Yeah, and again, that was a sign of Billy's frustration. He kind of just went down looking for the free kick on halfway and threw the arms as if to say, well, not getting these tonight, am I? And it wasn't a foul on Billy, I don't think. He's just looking a frustrated figure tonight.
We look like we're going to go in 2-0 down unless Borough can get a third, because they look far more likely now than Sheffield United to get the next goal. Obviously, the next goal is absolutely crucial in this game of football, no question about it. 3-0 is game over. 2-1 is probably Blades losing 2-1.
I don't think this is over, Hal. I don't think it's over. 2-0 to Middlesbrough. The Blades get one back. They're going to be nervous. 2-0 is a dangerous lead.
Look at what Steve said. This is why Steve's an ace member. This is your kind of thinking.
Yeah. Well, we didn't. You know, anything can happen, a change. You know, one goal, Middlesbrough, the nerves will start to set in. Okay, yes, they may tire, says Phil, who looks like a bit like Jimmy Hill, doesn't he?
Phil's also a legend, as is Jimmy Hill. So it is a free kick on this left-hand side. We've got 1 minute to be played, and hopefully Middlesbrough will tire. Several of you seem to agree that is the state of play. We're going to have this free kick, and then I would imagine that'll be all she wrote for the first half. It's on this left-hand side. The hand goes up, 30 yards out, crossed in, and it was Bamba who tried to win it. Looked like he used a step ladder. He climbed over several Blades defenders, and actually that was quite a delay in taking that, so perhaps add on another 30 seconds onto that 48. Borough just keeping possession.
Yeah, they're managing the game well. They're just seeing it through to the break, making sure there's not a sniff. There's a man over at the back post, headed back.
Bowler for three, surely. It's saved by
Olsen.
Olsen. With his feet, with a chance there. Bowler put the ball back in. It was headed across, and it looked like it was offside.
It was offside.
Robin Olsen was not to know, and he did make a decent save. It was the correct call as well, just slightly, Sporar, ahead of the last man. Good header back across. Decent effort. Save. And Duncan Watmore, with that first goal, which was a bit of a screamer, will walk off at half-time. Very happy with his first half. But for me, it's been absolutely appalling from the Blades. 2-0 down. I've said it before on this channel, Adam. I'm going to say it again. I don't think 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝𝐚𝐩𝐞𝐝 is going to be at the Blades for the long term.
I agree. As I've agreed with you previously on this channel as well. I mean, he's one mission, and that's to get us out of this league.
Yeah, and I don't see that.
Upwards.
Yeah,
I'll re-clarify my comment again.
I'm less worried. The thought of going down was something initially that worried me, but then with all these teams in such turmoil at the bottom, like Derby, I think Hull look absolutely dreadful. Peterborough are a bit of a, not really sure what they're going to do. It's quite a strange topsy-turvy one. I think Forest are a right mess. Barnsley can't buy a win. There are so many teams down there at the bottom that, I'm not overly concerned about the trapdoor. I am worried that Sheffield United are going to be just a mid-table side. And, hindsight's a wonderful thing. Perhaps if we'd given Paul Heckingbottom the job to continue on the decent work he was doing, he'd have blooded more of the youth and actually wouldn't have needed to bring new players in. I think we probably wouldn't have signed Ben Davis. We'd probably be playing Casper Lapata next to John Egan. We'd probably have kept Jebison and not sent him out on loan. I think we'd still be playing that 3-5-2. I'm not saying that's necessarily better. I actually really like this formation that we're utilising at the moment, but I would like to see more change in the final third when we're in possession. It's all a bit predictable. It's all a bit static. We've only ever usually got one person in the box, and for some reason, Sheffield United just love to float crosses in to Billy Sharp. Now, Billy is good in the air, but he's not great in the air. He's also not 6'4". Drilled crosses, I think it was Gaz who said it earlier, drilled crosses is what is going to be the order of the day. Let's give a shout out to Ethan Players, who has become a YouTube member. Ethan, we will add you to our members list. You are a superstar. Each and every one of you that contributes as a member helps the channel to literally continue to go and to hopefully continue to grow. We can't do it without you. So every single time that you contribute, you are helping us, and we can't tell you how much it means. So we're able to do things like the audio podcast, which isn't free. We're able to use software like we're using right now, which isn't free. And we're able to get guests, which sometimes aren't free. So thank you, each and every one of you. And thank you to Dylan Buckley for £2. Woeful all over the park, not getting out from this. Well, your £2 has helped support the channel, so we're getting something from that. Thank you. Nick has sent us a rather ambitious target, Adam, hasn't he, for tonight?
He has. He has.
He's told me get £200 from the super chat.
More chance of getting a full tank of petrol.
I've still not got my petrol since filling up on Friday and driving to Sheffield and back. I've got to say, it's Nick's birthday today. So if you'd like to help us, we would love it if you would contribute to the channel for Nick. So if you want to do a super chat and wish him happy birthday, that could be quite a nice way of doing it. Robert, have you wished Nick happy birthday?
I did. I sent a nice little gif of Frosty the Snowman. Probably a trademark of somebody, but there you go. So it was nice.
Talk to me about your mug. What's going on? I don't mean your face.
This nice little mug here. We'll zoom it in there.
Look at that.
Yeah. First edition. I know there's other ones that I've seen pictures leaked around the internet, and they have the red and the black on the logo. I think I like those better, but obviously with the personalization there, can't beat that.
That's amazing. I don't even have one of these. Why do I not have one?
That's you gotta talk to Hal or Nick. They run this really cool YouTube channel. Okay, wait, hold on.
Yeah, no, don't talk to me. It's completely pointless. Adam will be back with us in 5. So, Robert, what a dreadful first half. Give me your thoughts, please.
So I got to watch probably 8 minutes of like, wow, this is going to be a great game, followed by, oh, geez, we're 1 goal down, and I don't see where a goal is going to come from. And then while I'm dealing with maintenance guys working on my dishwasher, phone on now, watching the second goal go in. So I missed all the commentary. It looked like a really good strike, but yeah, I don't know what's going on up front because we've had possession, we've had chances where we're getting the ball into dangerous areas, but I don't know if it's just Middlesbrough knows how we're going to attack, if we're just taking the wrong chances, the wrong shots. Although I've not seen the stats, I don't recall too many shots other than there was the 𝐿O72 chance. I think 𝐌𝐚𝐧𝐬𝐜𝐚𝐸𝐍 had one where he's dribbling around and just shot it into a dude like a foot in front of him. So
shot it into a dude. You heard it here.
Yeah, the terminology, we're getting there. It's the American vocabulary still, but
I love it. Sam, I also love you. £1.79. Thank you. All of those wishing Nick a happy birthday, he will get to see all of those. So do please send them in. If you want to do it via Super Chat, then I'll be able to tell him afterwards how much money we raised to continue the channel. Lee Musto asking, have we ever won against a Warnock side? 1 win in 10, Lee, and that was in 2009. A 2-0 win against Crystal Palace. You can test me on the spot with this sort of nonsense. Thank you very much. I've got to say, I was not expecting this, Robert. I thought we would win this game. I actually thought we'd win it quite comfortably. But here we are, 2-0 down, and we don't look like doing anything if we continue with this. So what changes would you make for the second half?
Obviously, because I was a little distracted at the last, probably 10 minutes of the half, it's hard to say exactly what change I would go with, but it's got to be something attacking, in my opinion. I think McBurney could be a possibility to get on. It's just, I feel like I've not been inspired by a lot of the performances from our bench players. Obviously, Rhian Brewster, an amazingly talented young striker. And then I'm looking at him and I'm like, I don't know if I want to put him on in this match because so far he hasn't gotten us a goal in the league. So it's the kind of person that I would have loved to throw on when we've got a 3-goal lead and say, hey, go get your own, tack on 1 or 2. But nobody really is jumping out at me as this is the guy to bring on. Obviously, if we're looking this iffy in the back, maybe Basham comes on, but that's a defensive sub, and obviously we haven't generated any offense either. So it's a very tricky situation for Slavisa right now. I don't think we've been in a game so far this season where we've been down by so many and not had the personnel to really spark a change. Because I don't think do we not have Freeman on the bench today, right?
That's right. We don't have Freeman on the bench.
And no Berga. Those two who in the midfield can create chances. Obviously, 𝐿O72 is good from set pieces, but without the open play. And I think Norwood and Fleck have had good games, so I don't really want to take either of them off. And then you're either taking off a defender or an attacking midfielder, and we don't want to make that change right now either. We need more offense. We need more attack. So it's a tricky spot.
David's asked, why don't I think 𝐍𝐸𝐫𝐝 𝐚𝐸𝐽𝐻 will be here long term? It's a hunch. I've not got inside info or anything on this. He doesn't tend to stick around. If you look at his managerial record, he doesn't tend to stick around at any club particularly long. He's already been given a warning as well for his comments that he made about signings he needed to bring in. That's on the record. Although I have heard that from a few journalists that didn't go down well. He didn't seem to care about that. How much is he actually invested in this? He apparently wants a director of football. He's always used a director of football. It's what he knows. We don't have a director of football. Sheffield United need a director of football, in my opinion. He's had to bring a lot of his own staff in, players that he doesn't know, staff that he does. I think he wants someone at the club daily that he can talk to, that he can go to. And with Betis, he might have that, but maybe he doesn't always have that. I think he wants someone on the football side, not necessarily the boardroom side. I think he's going to get slightly disillusioned. I feel like he knows what he wants. He hasn't got it. He hasn't got the backing necessarily that he wanted. He needed wingers. The club tried to get wingers. We know the club tried to get wingers very, very hard. And that was not the club's fault that the club didn't get wingers. Wingers were sought after. Wingers were not achieved. Slavisa Jokanovic didn't let the club know he needed wingers until too late. So I don't think we can blame everyone here in terms of like, oh, it's the board's fault, oh, it's Slav's fault. I think there's a bit of shared blame. I just don't see him being in for the long term. I don't ever see him as a Sheffield United style kind of manager. It's not the kind of manager that we've often had in the past that we would ever say would stick around for a long time. But, I've been wrong before, and I'm probably going to be wrong again. I thought Howard Kendall was going to be a Blazer manager that was going to stick around for a long time. And, shows what I know there, but a late great and someone I was a really big fan of. So, Robert, you don't need to respond to that. That's me going out on a bit of a crazy limb, and I'll die on that hill. You can stay well away from it. Second half, go on, give me something positive that I can look forward to, mate.
So I think positively, I do like the left side of our play. We've had a lot of attacks down the left side. Osborne's played really well. He's had some dribbling. Enda Stevens, him, Fleck, kind of all have this little passing triangle with some overlapping that's worked well. But as soon as we get to that final third, the crosses aren't hitting their targets. The dribble insides, we're getting dispossessed. And when we do get the ball to the foot of a striker, it's not going in the goal, and it's getting blocked pretty easily. So I think that's the change that needs to happen, is somewhere in there. But positively, like we are getting the ball into the correct areas consistently. And so that's where I'm like, okay, we can get goals in this game. There are goals to be had for Sheffield United in this game.
There's thunder and lightning outside my house now. Adam, what's it like for you?
Just rain. No thunder and lightning.
Oh, what's it like for you, Robert?
Really sunny, actually.
Of course
it stormed last night, but it's beautiful out right now.
In America, where all the women are beautiful and everything's great. Now, lads, I need to do something, which I will do. I'm going to talk about Manscaped in just a moment. Let's have a quick look, though, at the bench. We've got League One Wes, Basham, Reece Norrington-Davis, Howrahan, 𝐍𝐸, Rhian Brewster, and Ollie McBurney-Powell. So plenty of options there. Some excitement to be had. Now, I'm just going to quickly tell you that our friends at Manscaped have sponsored this video for us today. They're here to make sure that you've got everything you need when it comes to male grooming. Make sure you're keeping fresh this fall, as you'd say, Robert, isn't it? Aren't they?
Yeah.
Marvellous. The leaders in male grooming, brand new 4th generation performance package. Get ready for a fantastic season like no other. Ready to take the lead into the fall. There you go again, Robert, just for you. To get you involved, mate. With Manscaped, join the 2 million men worldwide using Manscaped by going to manscaped.com for how much off, Adam?
20%.
Wowzers. 20% off and free shipping with the code TSUW, which, Robert, stands for...
The Sheffield United way.
Oh, incredible. I tell you guys, Robert, we've spoken about this before. Manscaped, it's something that I can't believe only 2 million men are using, because I feel like there's more than 2 million men in the world, right?
Yeah. Statistically, it's probably closer to like 3 billion. So,
right. Hey, absolutely. So I feel like there should be more fellas using this. If you haven't yet, give it a go. It's time to use the Manscaped Performance Package 4.0. Inside this package, you'll find their Lawnmower 4.0 trimmer, Weed Whacker ear and nose hair trimmer, Crop Preserver ball deodorant, Crop Reviving toner, Performance boxer briefs, and a travel bag to hold your goodies. The new Performance Package 4.0 includes the new Lawnmower 4.0. If you're looking to cozy up this fall, again, Robert, just for you, this trimmer, absolutely essential. Adam, I know you're someone who's a big fan of Manscaped.
Absolutely. And with 20% off, why wouldn't you be?
Quite right. Well said, sir. Their 4th generation trimmer features a cutting-edge ceramic blade to reduce grooming accidents thanks to their advanced skin-safe technology. It also gives you the ability to turn the 4000K LED spotlight on and off when needed for a more precise shave. Plus, it's waterproof. The Performance Package 4.0 also includes the Weed Whacker to chop your worst weeds up to top your nose and your ear. No one likes ear and nose hair. Get that sorted. Seal the deal with Manscaped's liquid formulations, the Crop Preserver Ball Deodorant. Everyone knows that's going to be better after that. Then after trimming, of course, it's time to give them a much-needed boost with the Crop Reviver. Manscaped even thrown in free gifts in the Performance Package 4.0, Manscaped boxers, and the Shed travel bag. If you want more of this, then everything you need to know, including that 20% off and free shipping with the code TSUW, go to manscaped.com. That's 20% off and free shipping with the code TSUW at manscaped.com. And we would be absolutely delighted if you would support the channel that way. There's the details just below. Joseph Parker, a new member, and thank you for giving us $6.77, very specific amount, but apparently that's worked out as a $5 for Nick's birthday. Henceforth, 9/28 is known as In Good Nick Day. I love it. Thanks to each and every one of you that has wished Nick a happy birthday. All of those messages will be passed on. Didsy, boys, Robert, your thoughts being brought on?
I mean, yes, if we're looking for creativity, if we're looking for another striker to bring on, I like the choice for Didsy. That I think can work out well for us. I haven't seen yet who he's replacing.
Norwood.
Oh, okay.
I know.
Yeah.
Well,
not my thoughts. Yeah,
not my choice either. But he is. It's the case that we have now the return of the second half. We're back underway. Robert, thank you very much for joining us and sharing your thoughts. Robert's off to make a purchase at Manscaped. Cheers, Robert.
Cheers.
So, Adam, what are you thinking?
Why Norwood? No, I don't agree. Didsy on fine, no problem with that. But it would have been for Fleck ahead of Norwood for me. Although Didsy plays a good ball to start the second half. Sorry to cut over there. It looked like something was going to be promising, but Ben Osborne lost control.
Here we are with Borough now launching an attack at the other end. I think Spora's offside there. We're at 45-50 if you want to get level with us as the flag goes up to start this second half. Middlesbrough 2-0 up against the mighty Red and White Wizards. It's been an awful first half display. Hopefully we'll see better in this second half. You can pause us. You can pause your TV. We're watching on Sky Sports Football. You can also get this channel on Twitch. Now, here's a chance for the Blades. Can they make it 2-1? The flag has gone up. And Lumley makes the save anyway. Well, this has been two offsides that have had the hearts in mouths here. Early biscuits.
Yeah, that looked close. That did look close. And in fact, he's a foot off.
Just off. But
you just see by the you could just see by the cut of the grass that Billy was over the line.
But the Blades on the attack.
Attack.
Early on. If you're a legacy viewer, you'll know what that means. If you're not, welcome to the channel. It was when we had that bizarre naming chickens after footballers episode. Right, here's 𝐷𝐚𝐽𝐺𝐬𝐿. We used to have a lot more fun in the Premier League doing these watch-alongs because we were normally out of it by half-time, so we just messed about and heard about Adam going to Bali.
Yeah. Or Lanzarote, as we went to recently. We scored 6 when I was in Lanzarote. Maybe I should go back out. My dad just landed in Rhodes, so I'm hoping that they might do that. So yeah, and I'm off to Cos in a couple of weeks. But anyway, moving away from my holidays.
Well, will all roads lead to goals for the Blades today? As Rob Cos, a guest on SUTV, apparently called us Sheffield all the way through it. I don't know.
Yeah, I've disowned him.
I haven't watched it, but he's dead to me. Right, 47-30. We've got John Egan coming forward with George Baldock on the right. He decides to go back to John Egan into our own half. That was an opportunity there to, I think, go centrally. Middlesbrough, though, setting up, Adam, just as they did in that first half. Same formation. They've gone to 2 up front as they did very early in the first half.
Yeah, they're comfortable, aren't they, at the moment? They don't need to worry. They can see this out. They go 2-0 if the opportunity arises for a third, then there we go. We need to force the pace. We need to get a goal back. We need a third goal of this game, and the more the time ticks away without getting that, Borough just comfortably going to see this one out. We've got to make something happen.
Oh, it's given there as, I think, offside, Ben Osborne on that left. 48-15. Wow, this is sloppy. 2 early offsides for the Blades, 1 for Borough. And really, we didn't see anything like that in the first half, but it's just trying to get on the edge of the shoulder of that last man. Perhaps that was the instructions from Slavisa at half-time.
I don't mind the first one with Billy. playing on the shoulders. We saw at Hull when it was borderline, he got the benefit of that and ended up going on to win the penalty. Don't mind that, playing on. You win some, you lose some, particularly in this league without that ridiculous system in the stands. And yeah, Ben Osborne just a bit sloppy. Shouldn't be caught offside.
No, it shouldn't be. Absolutely. A player that we've previously seen play in defence, now getting caught offside. David McGoldrick dropping exceptionally deep, deeper than even 𝐍𝐸𝐫 is normally found. But here's George Bulldog. No options in the box because Billy is playing out wide right. I've got to say that's disappointing when we need bodies in the box to try and get a goal.
He came out to win the ball. He spread it out wide and then just didn't follow through into the box. He gave the ball to Baldock and he should have been making a burst into the middle then. But Baldock went back to McGoldrick and it just petered out. Was a chance now for Ender Stevens to get an early ball in, and that's going to be
it's run to Lumley. You thought
it was going to be a corner, yeah.
So did I. Lumley gratefully grabbing it. The subs today, League One Wes, Brewster, Basham, Howrahan, McBurney Powell and Norrington Davis. We now have that change with David McGoldrick on, Oliver Norwood off. So that's the state of play at the moment, as Sheffield United need to find a goal early on in this game, but Borough forcing the issue as they have done in that first half. They were very happy to soak up pressure because they knew Sheffield United weren't going to do anything with it, and Borough looked dangerous every time they came forward. Here's David McGoldrick in his own half trying to set 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐸 Ndiaye free. So much attacking threat now on the pitch. Corner. It will be, as it's really good defending from that man Bamba. Sol Bamba has been everywhere. I don't just mean that in his career. I mean in this game today, he has been everywhere at the back. But when you think about it, Billy Sharp, David McGoldrick, 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐸 Ndiaye, Morgan Gibbs-White, 4 out-and-out attack-minded players are playing in this game, and we really need to make that count because at the moment, the Blades don't look like scoring.
And none of them are in the box. So 4 attack-minded players, but when the ball comes in, there's none of them in the box waiting. But we need a good corner in from Fleck here. Come on,
Lumley just pushes 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐸 Ndiaye in the eyes.
He does.
I don't think I've ever seen that before. Oh, it's not a bad corner, and Lumley will have to punch clear. He actually does really well. Not only does he punch, he punches to Tavernier, but Ben Osborne did it superbly well, and will actually be able to try and keep this alive for the Blades. This is going to be a shot from the edge of the area from Morgan Gibbs-White to get us back into it. It's a shanker.
It is. But how deep was 𝐍𝐸𝐻𝐸 then? Ben Osborne played the ball back, and 𝐍𝐸𝐻𝐸's nearly back on halfway. I mean, he's played a simple ball, and that's the difference.
That shot is horrible.
Gibbs-White's hit that 3 yards further forward in the first half. They've made it 2-0 from a very similar position. Okay, not quite running onto it as much, but you've got to be shooting on target.
What do you think of Big 101's comments? He says, I don't feel for Oliver Norwood. I feel it's time for him to leave.
No. It's not time for him to leave. It's not. No, I think that's harsh. He showed what he can do, and he's not the Ollie. He was very disappointing last season and arguably the season before. But I don't think it's time for Ollie Norwood to leave. I think that's harsh. He's shown what he can do. He showed that against Derby. I think it was an easy option taking him off. I wouldn't have taken him off today. Personally, I would not have taken him off. I think I'd have taken John Fleck off ahead of him for that change. But everyone has their opinions.
They do. Absolutely right, Adam. That's the thing that you said that I will agree with. It is 2-0 to Middlesbrough. Boller going to bring that ball forward. No, he checks back and decides to keep that ball in possession at the back. By the way, it is 𝐸𝐸𝐻𝐸𝐸's birthday today. He is at this game. He is not joining us. It is a real mess, Ben. You are spot on. That's how it sounds because that's what's going on.
Too much space again. Boller's got too much space to do what he wants. He's not being closed down. They're playing the ball back there. They look dangerous.
Offside? Duncan Watmore?
Appeal's gone up, but it's gone out for a goal kick anyway. So no, offside wasn't given. But it's harmlessly gone behind for a goal kick. But that looked dangerous. We're just giving them too much space.
Mark's saying the thing with Norwood, Adam, is he's not consistent enough. Would you say that's fair?
Yes. He isn't consistent enough, but he's shown what he can do in this league previously. And after some disappointing seasons, he's come back and shown a bit more of what Ollie Norwood can do. So to say out the door is harsh, but he's got kind of Harahan and other players, Sanderberg when he comes back, looking for that spot that he goes. So he's got competition for places, but it's definitely a player I'd have in and around the side. Let's put it that way.
Couldn't agree more. Now, David McGoldrick bursting forward, and there's a chance for the flick header.
Too much on it.
Just got a little bit too much on it. Really unfortunate there because I thought that was a good ball in.
It was. It was a very good ball in. Billy just got too much on. Tried to just sort of flick it home. Yeah, it's a good cross. And I don't know who Billy was remonstrating with after that. He was remonstrating quite vehemently with somebody, but there's no one anywhere near him. He took the header on, just too much on it. Well, better to see Osborne. I like Osborne when he puts that early ball in. That's where we saw last season, early this season, when we put early balls in, we have some success from it. Ben Osborne is a lot better cross of the ball when he's running onto it and whipping it in first time.
Absolutely, yeah, and that's that. Ball lumped forward. Robin Olsen will take it quite comfortably, and I've got to say, we need something. We need a spark in this game. I can imagine that the Blades fans who've made this trip to Middlesbrough with a petrol crisis will be regretting that decision as they sit in soaking seats watching a fairly tepid display.
Yeah, it started so promisingly as well. You thought the first 5-6 minutes they looked really good, but then it's just petered out. The goal, there's a little bit of response after the goal, but not what you'd expect. And the second one just seems to completely took the wind out of the sails.
Yeah, absolutely. So here we are with Sheffield United needing to get something from this game. You'd think now you'd probably take a draw. It's mainly just a case of whoever scores next, if there is another goal, will completely set the tone for this game. I think if the United can get it, it could be quite an exciting end to a game that I'd imagine for the neutral hasn't been particularly enjoyable.
No. But I think we can get into the game. We need to get a goal. But, I mean, I'm of the school, and I think Ivanovic is the same. Let's just have a real go for it. You know, if it's 3 or 4, it's 3 or 4. I'd want to see them go down fighting, not just petering out and sort of accepting the fate at 2-0. Let's just have a real go. Let's go forward, throw caution to the wind. Yes, we might concede another one. They may hit us on the break. That might happen, but we need to look decisive, get some shots on goal, really test the Middlesbrough defence, which we haven't really done. The goalkeeper's had an easy night so far.
Yeah, he really has. Lumley's hardly had anything to do. A very tame shot from Billy, of course, in that first half, but he was going to save that 100 times out of 100. And just a little bit of an injury here as a free kick is given to Middlesbrough. We're on 56.06. If you want to try and get level with us, of course, you can pause us. We're on Twitch as well now. Do tell people we're on Twitch. Want to try and get more viewers via that way. We're also available on Facebook. You can watch all these watch-alongs on there, as well as all our match previews, live match reactions, and YouTube. We're on the march to 15k subscribers. If we get there, I think we just stop. Right, here's a free kick on the right-hand side. Middlesbrough looking to make it 3-0. This would absolutely kill the game. It's a decent ball in. Ooh,
arguably should have done.
Arguably should have done. It's not dead yet. It's still alive as it's played back across. There's so many Blades bodies back, and they do get it clear, but it's fairly unconvincing clearances. And George Borco just get a swinging foot on that. It's headed back in, an overhead kick, and Robin Olsen's going to watch that one fly over. Messy. We don't look convincing, Adam.
Panic stations. Panicking. That's all it is. It's down to panic. I mean, 𝐍𝐸, yes, got it away, but they've all followed the ball. There's 6 of them running in towards the ball there. Yeah, it's not convincing at all.
Oh, what's happened here is 𝐍𝐸 dropping so deep,
just
giving the ball away.
Yeah, he just lost a 50-50 challenge. And
Tavernier.
Right, go Osborne, go. He needs options now. He's brought it forward to halfway and he's looking for someone to go. It's down the channel. And Guy looking to cut inside the area, which he does. Gets to the byline and wins.
Corner? Gotta be.
Corner.
I think the referee said goal kick.
He's given a goal kick. Yeah, had his chance to get it back there. Didn't pull the trigger as perhaps he should have done. Could have squared that a little bit early. It was a good run to get in, down to the byline, and as he held him off, yeah, it's come back off him, and it's the correct decision. It is a goal kick. Need something quick, don't we, Hal?
Oh, we really do. We really need a goal. The game's got to come to life. It's been absolutely awful to watch for a Sheffield United point of view. Not what we wanted to see at all. Lumley will take this goal kick. We're on 58-17. The Blades not looking like, since that change of bringing 𝐍𝐸 on, that a goal is going to come. We're going to need it to come from somewhere if there's going to be anything to be got from this game, because a tough match away.
Now's a chance.
And here's 𝐼𝐚𝐴 𝐬𝐽𝐽 on the edge of the box. Can he find that ball to Ben Osborne? It's a little wide. It's a chance, but it's the wrong ball, and it's cleared again. Who else?
Was that a shot was that a shot, or was that a pass to Billy? Or it was kind of in between. He didn't really get his foot through it enough for a shot. I think he was a little bit caught in two minds, was he? Let's just have a look at this again. I think Billy would have been offside if it got to Billy, actually. Yes, it looks like he's tried to cross that. You could look at where his eyes are there. I think he should have had a shot on goal much more convincingly and put his foot through it.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not been what we wanted to see with that opportunity, which was huge. I think the ball was slightly overplayed, and here we are because of it, with only a corner to show for our work. 𝐍𝐸's going to get that ball in first time. It's way overhit, and that'll roll out. Maybe he's just a little rusty, 𝐍𝐸.
It's a little rusty, but it's not the sort of ball to be played in against Middlesbrough. They're so much bigger than us. A short corner, which I never like short corners anyway. Never have been a fan of it. Play back to 𝐍𝐸, and he's sort of just got a 9-iron to the back stick where there's nobody there. I mean, the only real target you're going to have is John Egan to head it back across goal. That's the only thing you're going to get from that. And John Egan was in the middle waiting for a cross in. I just can't understand when you got the opportunity to get the ball in that you just don't get it in. But
ball going to be fired forward as we look to win that in the air, and then hopefully it doesn't drop down to Borough. But of course, that's exactly what happens. Then a bit of a mess at the back. Borough not able to keep control of that as we hit the hour mark, and George Baldock can try and bring it away.
Yeah, didn't it? Oh, who's gone down? Billy's gone down. I think it's Ollie McBurney time now.
It might well be, and there's a bit of strength that we like to see from 𝐼𝐴 𝐬𝐽𝐽. Phil Whelan, want to apologise to you. I accidentally blocked you on here. I was trying to block that guy who was spamming, but then a message came in and I accidentally blocked you. I did not want to block you, Phil. If you're watching thinking, why have we done that? I'll try and sort that out at the end of the game. Here's a chance to play 𝐍𝐸 in. Takes a heavy touch. I think that is a case of rustiness there, Adam, that we speculated on earlier.
It is. It's a heavy touch from 𝐍𝐸, but they're trying. But Middlesbrough look comfortable. So they're just setting up with their defensive banks, and they're just repelling it quite easily at the moment.
Are you concerned? This looks like the Blades of old, and I thought we turned a corner.
It's been disappointing tonight. I said after Preston that Hull was a must-win, and we bounced back. But how Sheffield United would it be to lose tonight, but then go and win at Bournemouth? That is.
I think it'd be
how
more
Sheffield United is it?
It'd be more Sheffield United to lose both of them.
Well, it would, but we see things. We see us do things like that. I mean, it's disappointing, but it's the reaction. We needed, after the disappointment of the Preston late equaliser, we needed reaction at Hull, and we got it. You know, we kept going against Derby, and it wasn't convincing all the time, but we got the win, and that was all that matters. So let's just hope we can get back into this a bit as the ball comes to Baldock as a real chance to get it in. Could have done better, flashed across goal.
Billy is again
played it to him
like a deep right midfielder. And that's exactly that where that ball's put across the face. That's where Billy should be. And if Billy scores.
Yeah, Billy's on the right. Yeah, Billy's on the right wing. It's got to be McBurney on now. It needs a physical presence. But who he comes on for? I mean, can we throw another attacker off, or is it a case of potentially taking and die off?
Here's a chance for the Blades with that turn from Morgan Gibbs-White. He's fuming. He's I don't know what he's actually cross about. It was decent interchange of play from the very deep David McGoldrick. He played a good ball in.
He wanted it in front of him, didn't he? He wanted it in front of him. Yeah.
So he could take a shot first time. He had to do a difficult turn when he had a defender very close to him, but it took a deflection from the defender. And again, 𝐬𝐽𝐽's getting the keeper's arm all over him. He's had the fingers in the eyes. He's had the elbow on the back of the head. Not letting it bother him.
He comes onto his shoulders, doesn't he?
He really does. And Fleck's corner in is a decent one.
That's a good corner. That's a very good corner.
𝐍𝐸 could have got a swinger on that, and he just took a soft touch.
Yep. Yeah. It was a great ball in from Fleck. It was a really good ball in from Fleck.
Decent corner, yeah.
It's one of the nights where it's not going to fall. That Middlesbrough look to get in now. It's played a little bit wide, but Davies looking to hold him up, show him outside. Oh, good save by Olsen, but pushes it out in front of goal. And it's a hit from distance, and that's easy. But again, the midfield's not there. He's rolled onto the ball. He could have taken a touch. He could have moved in 10 yards and hit one. But Yeah, Billy and 𝐿𝐼𝐷𝐉𝐿𝐼. Robert was saying earlier that when I wonder what Billy was remonstrating at, but apparently 𝐿𝐼𝐷𝐉𝐿𝐼 wanted him to leave the ball, and that's who he was frustrated with. And now 𝐿𝐼𝐷𝐉𝐿𝐼 frustrated that Billy's not put it in front of him. So hope there's not a little bit of unrest and a bit of fallout, but it's a frustrating night, and the frustrations are starting to show.
Absolutely. As the ball's played forward, looking for Billy Sharp, and that's really
He's
good.
not going to get that.
So Bamba just jockeying that one out, and it's going to be a goal kick on 63-53. That's the time. If we're ahead, you can pause us and get level. Once you're level, hopefully you don't need to do it again. And I think Tavernier there was indicating he needs his inhaler.
Yeah.
That's the international gesture for an inhaler, I think.
All right. I just thought he was saying it's Ben Osborne. No, that's it. It's Ben Osborne.
Yeah. You start rumours about Ben Osborne. I'm absolutely gutted. I'm gutted that the Blades are 2-0 down. I'm gutted that I blocked Phil Whelan because he's one of my favourite viewers. It's all going wrong, Adam.
Yes.
Where's Bobby in the background when you need him? He never does that because he's not trying to talk and press buttons at the same time.
Can he not? That's a foul referee. That's a yellow
Matt
card.
Crooks, who got a red card against Reading that was overturned, then with a very agricultural challenge on David McGoldrick for no reason. It was at halfway, and he picks up a yellow card. But 𝐷𝐸, welcome back to the first team.
Yeah, it's a yellow card. 𝐍𝐸𝐵𝐼 drops it to 𝐷𝐸. Slid in, conditions didn't help, but yellow card's the right decision. He's just a little bit late on it. It's
a bad one.
Malicious.
No, it's not. It's a right call.
It's not malicious. It's a yellow card. Although in the scheme of the 2 yellow cards in the first half, it's a severe yellow card. But
it's an orange.
Yeah. Right, 𝐷𝐸, get it out to Baldock. Right, now we've got to look. That's it. Right, in. Find Billy. Chance.
Oh, it's well blocked again by Bamba. He's won it again at the second count.
He has.
Bamba's looked like he's on a mission tonight, and he has played superbly well. There was a foul on the Middlesbrough man there, but Tavernier is going to come and bring it clear. You can see Kevin Blackwell gesticulating. I don't know why. I think the advantage was the right thing to actually play there.
Fleck's going to get a yellow here, I think.
It was James Linnington, the referee from Newport, who
there we go.
Fleck and allowed play to go on. I think that probably is the right call. He absolutely clattered into Duncan Watmore there. I don't know why. I don't know why Kevin Blackwell was so incensed. It was obvious that was what was going to happen. And actually, you see it back, and Fleck doesn't even
he's not done anything. He's
calmed
the referee
shaking
there.
his head. That was ridiculous. Initially, I must admit, I was with the referee. It looked like he'd clattered into him. You see it again. I'll tell you what, with VAR, there's no way that anyone would get booked for that. Of course, they probably wouldn't bother for a yellow. But anyway, don't have it in this league, so who cares? Ball played in by Boller, took down brilliantly by Sporar, but then it's going to get blocked by Ben Osborne, and United can clear up to halfway, and Neil Warnock will not get that ball back into play, just watches it roll past him. And there's some very happy Borough fans sat at the Riverside, and poor Nick. Now, Nick has set us a rather ambitious target of raising £200 for the channel tonight to help with our running costs. If you'd like to be in the super chat, at least I could tell Nick, well, I know you had an awful birthday, you used up all your petrol, and you sat in the rain and you watched United lose, but our wonderful viewers helped us to raise, well, that bit's over to you. So if you want to do a super chat, you'd be really helping us tonight.
Time's ticking, Hal. Time's ticking. He's giving it. What's he giving here?
Free kick to Borough for a foul on Matt Crooks, the man who went in hard. And I think if he books Fleck here again, he'd not only be sent off, but that would be the most ridiculous sending off. He's not going to. I think the ref almost knows that Fleck shouldn't have been booked for the Watmore one. But was this worse?
Oh, come on.
A hand on the face. I think, again, that's accidental.
No, come on. Well, he must have strong nails if he's falling on the floor like that after. I mean, honestly.
All right, it's a free kick. We've got nothing to get excited about in this game. We're struggling. It's so hard to make this entertaining in any way, shape, or form.
Need a change. It needs a change. This is where 𝐿𝐼𝐷𝐿 needs to earn his money.
All right, ball played in. And that is one of the worst free kicks you'll see in professional football.
Terrible. It's catching.
Well, if they've caught Blades disease, that's fine. And I think this is the change that not one Sheffield United fan would have predicted if we'd all had to guess for a million years. It is Rhys Norrington-Davies who's being brought on, and Enda Stevens, the Republic of Ireland's Maldini, who is going off. That, you'd assume,
fitness.
Fatigue, yeah?
Yeah, fitness is the only only reason I could think of that. Not a reflection on Ender's performance, but
yeah, but you could have played Osborne further back and put another attacking player on, put Brewster on, because we need a goal. And Reece Norrington-Davis, bless him, he ain't going to get a goal. Hopefully, I'm saying famous last words and he gets a hat trick. But I don't think that was the right change, Adam.
No, I don't. I think both changes have been wrong in terms of the personnel that have gone off. But yeah, it must only be fitness for Ender Stevens. That's the only reason I can think of. But yeah, we need to find something. You now cannot bring McBurney and Brewster on. You cannot bring both of them on now, which it's very strange. Very strange.
𝐍𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐚 with your more subs. Chef Paul Warnock has the highest fringe in league football. I think Jovino used to have the highest fringe. There's a booking to Spora. Just a bit of afters from Spora, and I've got to say, Mark Stevenson with £5 thinks Slav needs to call an off license on the way home, a la Millwall. Yeah, Spora are actually managing to get a booking there because Baldock wanted to grab the ball quickly to take that free kick quickly. Spora then pulled his shirt, then went back in for a bit of afters, a bit of the head-on-head. Not a headbutt, just a bit of friendly.
That's what he's been booked for, isn't it?
A bit of tickling. There's nothing in that. They're just talking.
Good of James Linnington. So James Linnington up to 5 yellow cards. There you go. We got one thing right.
You predicted it before the game, and thank you very much, Mark, for your support. I want to tell Nick that we've raised some funds on his birthday for the channel. We're going to, if I was honest with how much we needed to raise for the Football Content Awards for us to get there, you wouldn't believe it. Now here is Ndai. You have to buy your tickets to go to the awards, Adam.
Do you?
Yeah, we've been nominated and we have to buy the tickets.
Oh dear.
Do you want to know how much they are each?
Go on.
130 quid.
Wow.
Yeah, and we want to take 4 people. And then we've got travel, hotel, car park, London, congestion zone. It adds up. Drinks on the night.
It does.
Food on the night. So, we're not going to make that tonight, that's for sure. Anyway, we're still deciding about whether we're going to go or not, because if we do go, everything we've made on the channel will go on that night. we might not win anything. Right, here's Norrington-Davis on that left-hand side. Who else is there but Billy? Why is he playing as a winger? That's the wrong place for Billy to be. I'm getting slightly frustrated, Adam, at Billy Sharp's positioning. I know why he's doing it. It's because he's seeing nothing playing in the centre, but he's not going to score out there.
So he needs the others to burst forward. If that's what he's going to do, he needs the others to burst forward and fill the gap that is vacated, and that's not what they're doing.
Absolutely, spot on. I'm not sure Slav is reading this game. One thing that Fulham fans said, he was very slow to change in-game when it was going wrong. He was quite rigid with his formation. Does look like he has changed formation now. Do you think he has? Because sometimes I'm seeing Didsy back and sometimes I'm seeing him further forward.
Didsy just seems to be free. He's not really got a position. He's just sort of roaming. So it's kind of, he's taken Norwood off, put Didsy on and said, wander where you want.
I think that's true, a free roll. Ian Smith has said, I still haven't managed to get to the end of an interview with Slav. Am I an awful fan?
No.
I said before, when Nick and I did a video on who would you rather see as Sheffield United's new manager, I was quite vocal with what I wanted, but and I'll just say it wasn't Slav. Nick was in favour of Slav. One of the reasons was I didn't like his interviews. I found him quite hard to listen to. That's it. Not a great reason.
I referee. That's now, yellow card number 6, surely.
It is going to be number 6. And is that Bamba's first mistake in the game?
Yes, it is. But it's a yellow card. I think it's a bad one. That it's a challenge from behind. It's on the edge of the area, and he's been so tight to Billy all game. Maybe that's another reason why Billy moved out to the wing, just to get away from Sol Bamba. But this one was, it was late, it was nasty, and it's nowhere near the ball. Terrible.
It's right on the ankle as
terrible.
Well. It'll hurt that one.
It will. It will hurt indeed. Well, we need to make something of it. If maybe his hand's forced, but he's going to give him a yellow card. Yep.
So the tally for the night, Adam?
6.
6, and that is the second of the season for Sol Bamba, the Ivory Coast player, who's had a really good game today.
He has. He's had a really good game. Just excuse me for one moment, because I have got a power warning light on, so put a bit of charge. Put a bit of charge in.
Posted.
There we go. There we go. I wouldn't
like
think I'd disappeared, but there you go.
Well, I mean, you could have leaned forward. I wouldn't have minded that. I mean, I do it all the time. Right, free kick to Sheffield United on this left-hand side, only 5 yards outside of the box. It's a great position, and it's a terrible
it's an awful free kick.
It's an absolutely woeful set piece. I mean, we can't even blame Ollie Norwood on that occasion because he's not on the pitch.
Here we go.
Joseph Parker.
What a guy. Top man.
Absolutely fantastic. £13.54, not meeting the scoreline target, but here's another tenner towards 𝐼𝐚𝐲𝐶𝐝 Day, and he needs cheering up. Thank you, Joseph. Joseph, one of my favourite members because of the song that he recorded for us, which I shared on Twitter, which was wonderful. Ball played in. Lumley's not able to collect it first time, but gets it the second occasion. You feel like that could have been, if we had an Ollie McBurney pal there, he'd have been the kind of player to really put the cat amongst the pigeons.
He would, but I don't think we're going to get that change as much as we're asking for it.
I think that's very funny, Sheffield. Yes, because you were talking about bowel movements just as Adam moved forwards. We've all been there. It's got to the stage now where if something like that happens, I know instinctively what to do. It's like, right, I'm an adult. That's happened. We know exactly where to go. We destroy the trousers and we don't tell the wife. Right, match stats show us that the Blades have had 3 shots, but none on target. And Borough have scored with both of their shots on target. Robin Olsen, not at fault, but not stats that he would like to see.
No. Nothing on target. That's the worry. Nothing on target. I think that's just a second half stats, Hal, but still nothing on target.
Second half stats, sorry, I meant to say that. And Slav's teams, we were told, have a lot of attacking attempts, as we saw with his very free-scoring Fulham side. And I thought against Peterborough, here we go.
Yep.
We're going to see this week in, week out.
Here is Conor Horahan, not
Almost.
Ollie McBurney.
We're on 75.
I give up on the pronunciations.
I'm
going to take... Yeah, Connor is coming on. I'm just going to refer to him as Connor. I'm going to do a Warnock and just like Slav. Just stick to abbreviations.
Warnock struggles with players like 𝐼𝐚𝐲𝐶𝐝, but he shouldn't struggle with a player from the Republic of Ireland. As that corner comes in, and well done, Robin Olsen. It's a really good punch, that European goalkeeping. And we've got that good clearance as well from Morgan Gibbs-White to the man. It looks like he's been playing with Morgan Gibbs-White all his career, 𝐼𝐚𝐲𝐶𝐝 Ndiaye, who wins a throw-in. Quite clever play there as well. We're on 76 bang on the nose if you're trying to keep level with myself and Adam. I've been rather impressed, Adam, with 1 or 2 players for this Borough side today. I think Bamba, as I've mentioned, has done really well. McNair, Tavernier, Crooks, what more with that wonder goal. There's been some good performances. And 𝐼𝐚𝐲𝐶𝐝 Ndiaye off again.
Well, yeah. I repeat. I would have had McBurney on. I can't. It's just a bit of a concern that he's not seen that. I don't know if it's just me, but okay, we've made a change. But anything we create now, there's no height. There isn't any height. There's only John Egan with height.
Yeah, so we don't see Ollie McChicken again tonight. I mean, I know you're calling for him to be brought on. I think it made sense maybe for him to start the game with the physicality of Sol Bamba, but actually, now we're 2-0 down. Ollie's really looked like a good defender for Sheffield United. He hasn't looked like a free-scoring attacker, and the damage is already done. I have to say I've disagreed with these changes, but not necessarily Ollie McBurney. I thought this might have been a game for Brewster, and I would have popped Ben Osborne further back rather than bringing Reece Norrington-Davies on if Stevens had to go off, if he was fatigued. But I think this game's gone.
Yep. I think Brewster starts at Bournemouth though, Hal. I think Billy gets a rest. That's how I see it going.
I don't disagree with that.
That's just my gut feeling that I think that's what he's going to do.
So when you're thinking of Bournemouth away, Adam, would you go slightly different in terms of formation? Do you think Slav needs to actually look at this tonight and say, well, Bournemouth are a much better side than Middlesbrough, and Middlesbrough have executed their game plan superbly. The last time I saw a team do this well against Sheffield United with a game plan was Birmingham in the start of the season. Do you think he changes?
I'm always a believer that you go with your strength, not with the opposition's strength. So yes, Bournemouth are a better side, but if he truly believes this is his best formation, which I think he is, I think you stick with that. I think it shows a weakness if you change your formation to suit other teams. There's times when you need to adapt, and perhaps in game, if it's not going well, or the personnel within that formation, you do need to change. But I certainly think this is the right formation for Sheffield United with the personnel at this moment in time. It's just getting the right sort of balance of it. And look, we've got a right tonight off as a bad night. Let's, we've had a good run. I said before, we're going to have a blip. There will be these odd, annoying results, annoying performances that frustrate us. It's how we bounce back, and hopefully it's just not a start of a losing run, because you know what, a point at Bournemouth is a good point.
It is, and the bogey side that's replaced Walsall is Middlesbrough, as Ben Osborne looks to try and get something from this game by feeding Billy Sharp, who's again far too wide. He's as wide as you'd expect Ben Osborne to be, and I mean that in his position. And the ball headed back by very forward John Egan. It's a wonderful strike. What a shot. That's the best moment of the game from David 𝐷𝐿𝐷𝐷𝐿 in the 80th minute. Just blistering strike on his right foot from the edge of the box. It was superb play. John Egan now playing as a makeshift striker, and 𝐷𝐿𝐷𝐷𝐿 fires that one into the top corner. As it was headed there, Lumley gets a fist to it and fires it over his own bar. What a save.
Yeah, great save. Great hit. Couldn't do much more, 𝐷𝐿𝐷𝐷𝐿. Could not have hit that any better. Good save. Goalkeeper's not had a lot to do, but what he's been asked to do, he's done well.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. Lumley has looked very accomplished. There were some Borough fans telling me before they weren't convinced. Well, what he's done tonight, he's done fine. It's a corner on this right-hand side. Can it be delivered well enough to get the Blades back into it? It's met, unsurprisingly, by a Middlesbrough head, and George Baldock will try and turn. And I think that's been read so well by the Middlesbrough man, 𝐍𝐸𝐿𝐼𝐸, who's been brought on as a striker, and they're still keeping that two up front, Borough, which you've got to admire. They've been playing one up front for a lot of games, but Warnock completely changing things today, and it's Fox the Blades. Nice touch from 𝐷𝐿𝐷𝐷𝐿. Can he slot his man in? It's Ben Osborne he's looking for. It's heavy, and Ben Osborne will have to settle for a corner on this left-hand side, Adam.
Yeah, 𝐷𝐿𝐷𝐿 just slightly overhit it. Osborne was wanting to run in on that and then pull it back, and it was just half a yard in front of him. But a corner, another chance, and some good set pieces. That's a glorious corner. Chance for Baldock, should have hit it. Didn't. He's given
foul.
It's gone out. I think the corner's gone out for a goal kick and swung back in. I think that's what he's given. Yes. I don't think he's given the... No, there's no foul. Yeah, he must have given it, gone out. I think he said the corner's gone out for a goal kick.
Yeah, sloppy, really. I mean, we're expecting Harahan to be brought on and change things with his set-piece delivery. Not the case there.
No, Slav's looking pensive.
Morose.
Looking like he swallowed a wasp.
Yeah, maybe we'll be able to understand him a bit better.
Maybe so. Oh, his head just went down like that, as if... I don't know. He's probably thinking, "What am I going to come out with in an interview?"
Second by second, kind of head movement updates from Adam. It's razor sharp insight. As Borough, with what we thought was a foul for the Blades, going to continue moving forward. Men are getting into the box, and I think they're so confident and comfortable with this 2-0. They're not even going to try looking for a third. They're just
they don't need to. They don't need to. They could take a goal off and they'd still win the game. They could go back to 1-0. They'd still win. We don't score at the Riverside. We're not allowed to. There's a penalty from Jags 14 years ago. 14 years, nearly 15 years ago.
Tell me about
it. All started so well with the win with Dean and Whitehouse, but then we had that awful FA Cup game, which was on the BBC, wasn't it? And when we lost in extra time.
Yeah, I went to that one.
When that was just horrendous, when the BBC said they didn't even know what to say, did they? It was that bad.
Yeah, it was awful. But I used to live, as you know, in the north of England, and Borough was a very close game for me at that time, and I just went constantly to see awful games. I went to all of them in those 5 years, and I never saw a win or a draw. I just saw defeats. Horrible. Yeah. My wife can't stand Middlesbrough, and I mean that as a place. She fell out with several people when we were there. My car got smashed as well at Middlesbrough. Came back, someone had tried to nick the stereo. It was the old days when people tried to steal your stereo, smash my windows. Incredible, really, that they did that. And actually, they came in on the passenger side, smashed that window, took the stereo. But if they'd gone in on the driver's side, I had my wallet and my passport.
Only you,
driver's side.
Only you.
And they
I don't want a wallet.
They didn't take it. Well, I'm so trusting and I'm so stupid. I always leave stuff in the car. I used to always leave stuff in the car. Now there's literally nothing in my car. It's a complete shell. It's just a husk that I can drive. It's like a Flintstones car because I learned my lesson.
Wallet full of fake ID. Hi, it's Glenn Maxwell. Hi, I'm Liam Britton. Hi, this is Bruno Fernandes. Nah, I'm not having it, mate.
I'm not seeing the Glenn Maxwell, but I'll take it.
It was only on that picture. Only on that one picture. I thought, oh, looks like hell.
He's one of my favourite cricketers as well. Here's a chance for the Blaze to try and redeem themselves and perhaps get a consolation goal before we get to full time with Howrahan on this right-hand side. Decent ball in. It's a really good one. This must be 2-1. Oh, it's blocked. Didsey with a fairly tame effort in the end. I thought he was going to hit that earlier than he did. And that's a foul. I think he's given a free kick to Middlesbrough by the looks of things.
It looks like he has, but... Oh, yeah, Didsey should have scored. Well, I should have done better. I should have got it past the defender anyway, and at least be testing the goalkeeper. It was a real opportunity and a real chance. It's a good ball. Howrahan across, headed Didsey. Yeah, he's just scuffed it a little, hasn't he? He's just not quite got hold of it. If he'd got hold of that like he got hold of the one 5 minutes previous, it'd have been a nervous 5 minutes plus stoppages for Middlesbrough. But it's just not going to happen, is it? It's not happening tonight.
It's been one of those nights, and sometimes, as you said, you've just got to write it off. But I think the worry for me is this is, without Sander Berge, our best 11, and we look terrible.
It is, but everyone has a bad night. Everyone has a bad night.
It's a concern when collectively 11 players have a bad night.
Yeah, who's got ratings on Fans React? I won't fancy that tonight.
No, I'm glad I haven't got anything on. I mean, have you noticed I'm not involved in Fans React this season? I've not been put down once. I don't know what that's trying to say.
Axed.
I always try to bring a bit of levity to proceedings, but that's clearly not wanted this season. I know when I'm not needed.
Yeah, it'll be a plethora of 3s and 4s on Fans React on the ratings, I think.
Sometimes, though, you've got to look at it slightly more objectively, because I know it's easy when you've had a bad defeat to give everyone poor ratings. 1 or 2 players have not covered themselves in glory, but others have not been as dreadful. And here's a chance for Middlesbrough to try and get something in that second half, because they've not scored in the second half, Borough. They'll be furious the way that United have set our stall out. They probably would have fancied themselves to get another. Their game plan today was soak up pressure and hit Sheffield United on the break, and it's worked to a T. Neil Warnock has made a career out of this kind of performance. Is it good to watch from a home side? No. But we got used to it, and to be honest, you just take victories at this stage, and Borough will now be looking to go above Sheffield United with a 2-0 win.
Yeah. It's comfortable for Middlesbrough. It's been a comfortable night. They got one up. They got the second at a good time, and they've seen it out. That's
a good shout, Simon. Maybe get Neil Warnock for Fans React.
Yeah, get him on. Get him on.
Well, he won't be happy because he's a blade.
Yeah, Neil Warnock could be on. Who's in charge of them, Middlesbrough? Would he ruining my night? You
might remember Warnock though when he was with Cardiff. The way he celebrated after beating the Blades. A lot of questions had to be asked over his bladiness.
Yeah, it's a good mix of youth and experience, Warnock, as I called him. That was his staple line, wasn't it?
Well, he did do that.
Youth and experience.
I think
youth and experience.
The way he integrated Monty, Tungy, and Jags, we had not seen the like. And I think maybe till now, when you look at our youth team, it's never really been as strong as maybe you could argue the Harry Maguire school. But this is a very strong youth setup that we've got. Very strong. And I would like to have seen more of them blooded. And I know a lot of fans wanted us to spend a load of money. Here's a chance for the Blades. Can they make it 2-1 to have a very interesting final bit of this game?
Corner.
And that is a deflection. That's a blatant corner. Billy Sharp initially was worried he wasn't going to get it.
He was. I thought he was going to run off and lamp the referee then.
That wouldn't be a wise decision.
No. He just didn't quite get it out of his feet. Just one touch too much from Billy. I think after that first touch, he wanted to hit it then, and it just got caught under his feet. Had to take an extra touch, and in the end, got a corner.
Yeah, Dale Fry who got the block in, and it's from the right-hand side, 87-42.
It's all over.
That could have been a penalty, I think. Lumley, though, punches it clear, and it's Reece Norrington-Davies, the furthest man back, whose clearance is absolutely woeful. This is just shocking. Reece Norrington-Davies had a chance there with no one on him to take a touch and pick out a pass. And instead he just thumped it forward and it was just going to come straight back, and it completely ruined the momentum. Everyone's back. And it's panic stations, absolutely, from Reece Norrington-Davies. I wanted better there. So, not good. Oh, that's a great reminiscence of a Warnock line. You're on the bench, son. I love that. I also love that the way Warnock would speak to players like Danny Cadamartri when he was sick. I don't want to look at you. Get out. Get out.
Yeah.
Making me feel sick, son.
His argument with Morgan, that was great.
If it's
not
my
repeatable on a family show.
Yeah, he basically says if it's my man who scores, I'll take the blame. But
yeah.
Oh, it looks like a foul there from Tavernier, and referee
should that. He's going to give a corner.
He's not give it. He's going to give a corner instead. That looked like a foul to me.
My all-time favourite though is that's for Muscat. That's for Muscat. That's my all-time favourite.
That ahead of Rob Kozluk. You better be some player wearing those boots. Well, take them off.
Yeah, no, it's just the way he. Well played. That's for Muscat. That. Well done. That's for Muscat. You're just brilliant. Every man he congratulated. That's for Muscat. Brilliant.
Good times. I mean, I love those kind of away days. Millwall away, of course, the game you're referencing. Loved that game. We're not getting games like that tonight. We're getting a game that is not going to live long in the memory. This has been one of the worst games I've seen since the last time we played Borough at the Riverside and we lost 3-0. Also on TV.
Yep.
But after that game, Adam, we went on a massive run.
We did.
And we ended up getting promotion that season. Now, admittedly, that was very early on in the season. We're further into it now. But I think for me, there aren't signs here of anything other than panic. There's no signs of life or shoots of recovery that I can glean from this game. There's just negatives.
Like I said, I think it's get on the coach home, and that's it. It's basically write that one off. Bad night at the office. Get back on the training pitch. Let's go make a statement at Bournemouth and respond. Get the response at Bournemouth, because
maybe
it's been the performance. Like I said at the start of the second half, have a go, try and find something. If you lose 3 or 4, so be it. But they haven't done that, and it's just a disappointing performance. And it's been a lack of ideas. It's not been great. It's just sometimes that bad. You just have to write it off and just hope it doesn't happen again.
Currently second in the table. Here is George Baldock going to lay that ball off on the right-hand side to Morgan Gibbs-White. We're into the 90th minute. 4 minutes added on. Didsey's header down is awful. Didn't get enough on it. I think he took that on the front of the face rather than the forehead. And that was not a good header down that he would have wanted to do. He'd like that one back. Can Sheffield United get a consolation goal before full-time? Sloppy pass.
Not passing like that, they can't.
No, and that could be a foul. Referee's going to wave play on, as that was a bit tight in there from the back of Ben Davis into 𝐍𝐸𝐸𝐸. But here's Paddy McNair, has had a decent game, apart from that one free kick that was kicked out. And there's a kick that he played very intentionally, straight onto Hourahan. They've executed this game plan to perfection. Middlesbrough will be delighted with their day's work. Borough fans that wanted Neil Warnock out, it's not going to happen. Might be the end of the season.
Can he blow for time now? Not that I don't enjoy your company, Hal. But...
Thank you. No surprise that Sol Bamba gets man of the match. He's someone
absolutely.
That we highlighted. He's just won everything.
Yeah, bar that one shocker of a challenge on Billy, he's had a great game.
I think even that he'll say that was what he wanted to do. You know, just because it riled Billy, and he might have thought that was part of his game plan. That's going to be a Borough ball. Not good.
Yeah, going to be it's been a tough watch. Been a very tough watch.
It's Tom Hanks.
Dear.
He looks more like Tom Hanks than I look like Glenn Maxwell. That's for sure.
Oh, come on! Let's have another goal. I cannot face going to work tomorrow with a gloating Middlesbrough fan who predicted a 2-0 win to Middlesbrough. I can't do
that. One good thing is my boss used to be a Borough fan, and I don't work with him anymore. And I want to say not a Borough fan. He's not just a Borough fan. He's a stadium announcer. So I did not want that. And of course, all through those 5 years, they always beat us. So horrible. Yeah. I'd often feel like, I might have a cold this morning. Bit of a tickly throat. I think I'll stay at home.
It seems we don't do draws between the sides, do they? Borough always win here. We always win at Bramall Lane.
Seems true.
How it is.
And some great games at Bramall Lane, Adam. Let's not forget
definitely.
The goal from Lee Evans, the goal from 𝐍𝐸𝐸𝐸𝐸 in the Premier League that got us that first win. Some absolute belters. So we take the rough with the smooth, and being a Blade, it's often more rough.
Yeah, and it's been disappointing. This is. Yeah, well, we'll move on. What was it? what we on now? 12 points from 10 games, is it now?
Yeah, it's not good enough. That is mid-table.
No. Well, if we'd have won today, it's 15 from 10 and up to my magical 1.5 that I went on about. So, yeah, no, it's just not happening, is there?
Well, there's a chance on the edge of the box for John Fleck, who's going to have a sighter. It's dreadful. It's a daisy cutter.
It wouldn't have reached.
No, I mean, it was such a poor shot. I reckon it would have stuck in the mud. And there's John Egan saying, "You shall not pass," with a really good challenge. But Olusanya.
And the referee is about to end our misery sooner rather than later in about 8 seconds' time.
I feel for Nick. He's had a long trip tonight. It is his birthday. All he said he wanted was, he said he'd have taken a point. We both predicted a win, though. Got to say, it's been nowhere near it. And Neil Warnock will shake hands with 𝐍𝐨𝐫𝐝𝐚𝐷𝐿 at the end of a disappointing day for the Blades. Thanks to each and every one of you for joining us in the watch along. It has finished Middlesbrough 2, Sheffield United 0. Adam, your full-time thoughts, please.
Not one for the memory. Probably close to being the worst performance of the season. Up there with probably Birmingham in the first game.
West Brom.
It is. Yeah, but yes, West Brom was bad. But West Brom was a side who are up there and doing well. So expectation-wise, this is deflating. You know, against the Middlesbrough side where realistically we came with high hopes of a win tonight. Not just nicking a point, we actually hoped we would win the game, but to be beaten and well beaten. And Middlesbrough haven't really been tested. The goalkeeper's made one decent save from �𝐚𝐳𝐬𝐝 and a couple of half saves, which has been it's been a frustrating night. It's not one for the memory. It's one to write off, forget about. Let's relive the Peterborough game. Let's relive the Hull game where we were scoring goals. And Hull wasn't a particularly great performance. It was the Hull were pretty bad. But we need to get back to scoring goals, getting forward. We need to look at team selection. Was it a case of a little bit too much fatigue from the people up front, the teams that have played? You know, do we need somebody else just to freshen it up, not change it too much, but definitely 2 or 3 changes needed for Bournemouth. I still think we go with the formation, but I'd look at possibly starting Ryan Brewster, and I would look at kind of Hourihane playing as well, and see where we go from there.
Couldn't agree more. Match reaction coming from Nick when he eventually gets home. So, you know, and I don't know what the petrol situation is for him either. So, hopefully he's not doing some of that on the side of the road. But I really hope you can stick around tonight, dear viewer, for the match reaction from Nick. It might be a late one. You might have to catch it tomorrow. Also, I can't say who, but I just want a little tease. Adam, you're not allowed to guess. There is a very big interview on the Sheffield United Way YouTube channel coming on Thursday, 7 p.m. One of the biggest we've done. And we've done some big ones. And we've always done former players. That's about to change.
Ooh.
So make sure you're subscribed. It's a subscriber only. That's not easy to say. Subscriber only video. If you're not yet subscribed to the Sheffield United Way, it's free to do. Just please hit subscribe and make sure you are watching. Not just that, we will have fans react. Sans Hal and Sans Adam. We will have fan cams, which are being recorded as we speak by Luke at the Riverside. And we will have that very important interview coming this week. Then on Friday, it is your Bournemouth preview. And then on Saturday, we will have a match reaction, followed by Sunday, fans react. It never ends. Adam,
brilliant. I am intrigued, Hal. You have got me intrigued as to who this is. Yeah, you know, I'll be tuning. I'm fully subscribed. I'll be tuning in. Don't you worry. I'll have one guess off air.
Okay. Yeah.
See if I get it right.
If you get it, absolutely, I'll tell you off air. Because we didn't see him today, and I'm slightly sad that we're not going to see him play for the Blades again. It's just probably going to be the last time I get to actually play this. So let's enjoy this before we say goodbye.
Wes, League One, Wes.
League One West. Are we crazy?
League One West. Are we crazy?
Brilliant.
Feel for the guy. Apparently, he's the Joker in the dressing room as well. He's replaced Rob Cuzlock with that particular role. Cheers to all of you for watching. Adam will be back next time he's back. I'm not sure. We haven't worked out when that'll be. So, Adam, until then, thank you.
Thank you.